All parties in the matter of Riley versus Kent. Step forward.
25-year-old restaurant manager Cody Riley is suing his former roommate, 20-year-old barista Zachary Kent, for selling his property while he was in jail. Zachary says he used the money to move back home.
Mr. Riley, I have some preliminary questions for you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
Are you a college graduate?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you graduate from school?
Ashworth College in Atlanta, Georgia.
And were you working at the time?
At the time I got my degree, yes, ma'am.
What were you doing?
I was a restaurant manager for Jack in the Box restaurant in Texas.
When was the last time you worked full-time, sir?
I'm currently working now.
When did you start this current job?
A week and a half ago.
Prior to that, where did you work?
Prior to that, I was incarcerated.
For how long?
19 months.
So the last real job that you had was in 2001, working for Jack in the Box?
There was another one I had. I did my own web hosting and internet design.
When was the last time you filed federal tax returns?
In 2003.
And what amount did you claim that you earned in 2002?
A couple of thousand.
2002, did you file tax returns for 2001?
Yes, ma'am.
From working in Jack in the Box?
Yes, ma'am.
How much did you earn there?
19 and change.
19,000?
19,000, yes, ma'am.
These are just preliminary questions to what your case is about. You were incarcerated, according to what I read in your complaint and in the defendant's answer, for creating bad checks.
Yes, ma'am.
Not writing bad checks, but creating the checks
yes, ma'am.
On your computer.
Yes, ma'am.
And your complaint is that you and Mr. Kent had been good friends. You decided to move from Texas to Kansas City. And you did move there. You were older by 4 or 5 years. Is that right?
Yes.
Speak.
Yes, Your Honor.
Shortly after you arrived in Kansas City, you were arrested for these bad checks and incarcerated. The whole process probably took a couple of years. Shortly after you were arrested and incarcerated, Mr. Kent sold all of your property.
Yes, ma'am.
And with the money, moved himself back to Texas. You don't deny that you did that. Could you answer me? This is a television program.
No, ma'am.
It's not a silent movie. Right?
Yes.
All right, good. Now, why did you sell all of his property?
He paid for my way up there. I felt that he had to pay for my way back.
He's out in Kansas. You're in jail.
Yes, ma'am.
He wants to go home. He doesn't want to click his heels together and say, take me back to Kansas. He wants to click his heels and say, take me back to Texas. How'd you expect him to get there?
I had told him recently, whenever I spoke with him, that had he asked or something like that, I would have done something. But taking all of my belongings that cost far more than a trip back to Texas. And
what belongings did he take, Mr.
I have a list of all of the belongings that I had in my apartment, including a television, stereo, furniture, dishes, clothing, 2 pet dogs.
Let's see. A Mitsubishi television set that you paid how much for?
$2,099.
Where'd you get the money from?
I had my web hosting company, so I had money from that, and my mother also helped to pay for it.
You see the beginning questions that I'm asking you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Now you're getting red. Now you're getting flushed. I want to tell you something that is apparent to me. We just went through the last 4 years of your life. The last 4 years of your life suggests to me that you had no discretionary income. So I want to know where you got the money for thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff, sir. Is it possible that some of this stuff was purchased with the proceeds from your forged checks?
Yes, some of it probably was.
You're coming into this court and saying, well, I wrote a whole lot of bad checks that I paid for, a lot of extras for in my life. He had no right to sell it. And I want you to give me that money back.
Your Honor, some of it was obtained through legal means as far as my jobs over the course of several years. Some of it was obtained via credit and with the help of the family. I've got receipts for those showing that they were credit and cash purchases.
I don't care whether they were credit or cash purchases, or you were forging checks and cashing them.
And I also paid restitution on all of that.
How much did you pay?
$3,000.
This is $10,000 worth of merchandise, sir. How do you expect a court to differentiate between what you got through legitimate means and what you got through your forged checks?
Some of the money I had probably came from the checks, but some of it came from the web hosting company as well. Some of it came from family.
And I'm saying to you, you expect a court to spend 1 second of time, Mr. Riley, in trying to decipher what property you purchased through the sweat of your own brow, through legitimate means, and what property you purchased by using forged checks?
No.
And you expect me to spend a moment of my time?
No, Your Honor, the police...
Good, because I'm not. Thank you very much. Your case is dismissed.
For on the calendar in the matter of Brown versus Harrington. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Ms. Brown, Mr. Harrington and you had a relationship for quite some time. According to your complaint, you lived together, and while you were living together, you made him a loan in the amount of $6,000. In addition, there was, according to you, a violent episode in the home that you shared together where he assaulted you both physically and sexually, and he was arrested.
Yep.
Mr. Harrington said that the $6,000 was not a loan, but that you had lived with him for a period of time, never paid any expenses when you lived there, and this really was repayment for living expenses. And in addition, he says that while he was in jail for that one day, and you were only there one day, sir?
Just for the night. Release me in the
In
morning.
jail for one day, he says that the charges that you filed against him were false, and he wants money for emotional distress. How long did you two live together?
A little bit over 2 years.
From when to when?
March until
March of what year?
2002, until the beginning of May of this year.
And did you live in his home?
Yes.
Did you pay expenses in the house?
Yes, I did.
What kind of expenses did you pay?
At first, he had a loan out for the garage, so I took over the loan for the garage while he paid for the house payment and the other bills, and I took care of the food. I'd buy all the groceries.
Now tell me about this $6,000.
Well, he had one of the other loans that he had out was for $6,000, and he was paying $100 a month on that loan. And I told him, I says, if you look at this, only half of it goes to the loan, the other half goes to the interest. I says, what we can do is borrow some money out of my savings account, get rid of this so we don't have to pay that interest anymore. In exchange, we just put that $100 back into my savings account instead. And
Where
that's
did you
what
get $6,000 from?
Oh, my dad had died, and I had gotten some inheritance money.
Okay. So what did he say?
He thought that was a good idea. That way we would be saving money.
Did you use a joint account?
Yeah, both of our checks started going into the same checking account.
All right, so let's hear about this $6,000. She says you didn't give her back the $6,000.
Okay, she's this lady here, met her at the bar, and
Listen to me.
met her at the bar.
Listen to me. I'm not interested in when you met her. I'm not interested when you started to date her. I'm not interested in anything but the $6,000. You want to talk about your relationship, you go to a psychiatrist. This is about $6,000.
Your Honor,
When?
can I say something?
Who are you?
I'm his daughter.
Oh, he's a grown man.
Okay.
You take medication?
No.
Is there any reason why you
No.
can't tell me this story?
He's nervous.
I haven't done anything yet.
I met...
Well, Your Honor.
Shh. Don't speak. Mr. Harrington, I'm not interested in the beginning of your relationship. I'm interested in the $6,000 that she says you owe her. Could you get to it?
The $6,000 was from when she moved in, and she agreed to pay the partial house payment with the utilities, and she said that she couldn't afford it, so she said she'd pay the loan off with her dad's inheritance that she received from him. That was no loan. I've got 9 months of bank statements here that she never put nothing in it.
She never put anything in your joint account.
It was no joint account, and she moved in. It wasn't a joint account until November 9th, 2002.
Okay.
I have proof right here.
After November of 2002, did she start to put money in your joint account?
Yes.
How much?
I guess it was $742 or something every 2 weeks.
And you used that money for expenses?
Yes,
the answer is yes. You used it for expenses. Your expenses, her expenses.
Yes.
You lived together. This was a family, the
Right.
two of you. Now, what was the $6,000 debt that you had? What was it for? Was it from credit cards? Was it from a car? Was it from a loan that you
I
took out?
suppose it was odds and ends for, I've got horses, might have been $1,000 for them, or no, it's just the $6,000 wasn't applied to one
thing.
Right.
All right, so this was clearly your $6,000 loan that she paid off with her $6,000, right?
You're correct.
Okay. Now, When you separated in May, according to you, there was an incident at the house.
Yes.
You want to tell me what happened? Because that goes to Mr. Harrington's counterclaim.
Yeah. Well, in the middle of the night, I woke up with him putting handcuffs on me over the top of me, and I went to pull away from him, and I seen a gun sitting there on the nightstand, so I just stopped fighting just like that. I was scared to death.
You understand that the jurisdiction of this court is $5,000. You
Right.
understand that. So the money that you say was a loan, the $6,000, far exceeds the jurisdiction of the court. So I find that the $6,000 initially that Mr. Harrington had spent was money that he had spent on himself, his horses, odds and ends, etc. They were not debts of a joint couple who were living together. So I'm entering a judgment in your favor in the amount of $5,000. Now I'm going to get, sir, to your counterclaim. I've read the police report. The police report, I don't know whether your daughter has read. Have you?
No, I haven't.
All right. The police report contains your fully Mirandized statement about what transpired the evening that Ms. Brown has described to me, and I haven't asked her to go into detail. It's really not necessary. And there is no question in my mind, sir, that based upon your confession to the police, Ms. Brown had sexual relations with you because she felt intimidated. Now, you may have thought that that was a way to spice up your sex life, sir, but clearly she did not. You acknowledged you used handcuffs. You acknowledged you took a gun out and placed it on the night table. You acknowledged all of that, and you seem to think that that was okay. Now, I don't know why the district attorney chose not to pursue this matter. I haven't a clue. They found the handcuffs where she said that they were in your home. You acknowledged that you took them out without her consent. You did say that when she told you to take them off, you took them off. But that doesn't say that she wasn't, in fact, intimidated and frightened by your actions, because according to you and according to her, you had never done that before. I would be frightened, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
No comment.
You wouldn't be frightened if a man that you lived with for the first time took out handcuffs while you were half asleep?
because-
Put handcuffs on you, proceeded to have sex with you, and you turned over to the night table and there was a gun there? That wouldn't frighten you.
I have no comment.
You have no comment. Good, then say nothing. In any event, your counterclaim, sir, is dismissed, because the crux of your counterclaim is that you suffered emotional distress from being in jail for that one night. If it were up to me, you would have been jailed for a lot longer than one night. Your
Honor.
counterclaim is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
You better watch yourself.
Not very smart.
Women, what can I say? They have you arrested, clean your house out, and still want more.
I knew my side of the story was true, and it would come out this way, so I'm very glad it's over and done with.
It just says,
It's a
love
card.
Wanda.
From one with handcuffs
love.
on it.
The message behind that was meaning that we were joined together.
Hey, this is just one of them,
This is
but I got
not-
one every year.
Nothing to do with sex or nothing. It meant that I was committed and we were together.
What they did that night is not something that is rare.
He even asked me about it when I gave it to him, and I straightened him out right away that it just meant that we were committed to each other.
For her to sit there and say that they've never done it before is
We've
is
had
a
them out.
crock-
We played around with them before.
Oh, I'm glad it's over with.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Craddock versus Rodriguez, step forward.
Small business owner Joanne Craddock is suing her sister, cocktail waitress Deborah Rodriguez, and her husband Gilbert for their share of a Disneyland vacation. The couple says Joanne gave them the money because they couldn't afford to go on the trip.
Miss Craddock. Yes. Mrs. Rodriguez is your sister, and I assume this is her husband. Is that right?
Correct.
According to your complaint, your sister owes you for the expenses for a trip that the two families took to Disney.
Yes.
Your sister says that there was never an agreement to pay you back the money that she did in fact use. She had some financial problems. You insisted that she accompany the family to Disney, told you would take care of things, and that this whole thing stems from an unfortunate incident surrounding your father's death. When was the trip to Disney?
November of 2003.
And was it an overnight trip or a day trip?
We were there for a week. Debbie and Gilbert took our van, and we took our other van and drove down, and we stayed at a timeshare for a week.
So far, is that true, that you took their car?
Yes.
And the trip had been planned for both families?
Yes.
So why did it become necessary for you to take money from your sister?
On November 9th, I got in a car accident where it was a 3-car accident. One car hit my car right on the driver's side door. Was taken by ambulance to the hospital. Had to be out of work The car had over $5,000 worth of damage. So I had to call my sister and tell her that I wasn't going to have the money to go. She really wanted us to go on this trip.
Is that what, did she call you?
At all.
Okay. Tell me what she said when she called you and told you she needed your car.
We had offered her our van, and they would just put the gas in it, and we would take our other van, and the timeshare was already paid for. We each had our own timeshare.
Had you paid for it already?
Yes.
How much was that?
$220, I believe. We paid for that almost a year before we went, so that was all
So
paid
the
for.
room was paid for?
Yes.
So what was the conversation about money that you had with your sister?
They told us that they were low on money, they didn't have any more money, and we said that we would put things on our charge for you, but don't let me have to take you to Judge Judy. Honest to God. And here we are.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Things went very badly. She was behaving badly. She was making everybody very uncomfortable, and I had to kick her out of the house.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Joanne Craddock says her sister and brother-in-law owe for a trip to Disneyland. Deborah and Gilbert Rodriguez claim the money was a gift until a family argument changed everything.
So she started to put monies on the credit card for your family.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you think that she wasn't expecting to be repaid when you could afford to repay her?
I couldn't afford to repay her, and she knew that.
I said, what makes you think, considering you are not families who have lots of spare cash, car hit you, I assume that you're suing the driver of that car?
Yes.
So eventually, you're going to either settle that lawsuit or come into some money. Why would you think that your sister, who doesn't have a lot of money, would not expect to be repaid?
Because I called her before we took the trip, after my car accident. I'm a cocktail waitress. I live on my tips.
Yes.
I knew I would not have enough money to do this trip.
And she said to you, what?
She said, I want you to go on this trip, and I'll help you out.
So my question to you is, I'm going to come back to my question. She helped you out. She gave you a car to go down in. Why would you think that you should not send your sister $50 a month and say, listen, thanks for helping me out, my family, we all had a great time on the trip, and if it wasn't for you, we really couldn't have gone. I'm going to send you $50 a month till it's paid off.
It was never alone, and the only time it became an issue, she filed for this suit the day after my father died. And the reason she did that was because she was making everybody very uncomfortable. She hadn't spoken to my father in 15 years. She wouldn't have been at my father's house if it hadn't been for me. I pushed for that because I thought it was only fair that she see her father before he died. And things went very badly. She was behaving badly, and I had to kick her out of the house. My aunts came from Rochester, New York, an 8-hour trip. She wasn't allowing them to spend any time with their brother. The situation became out of hand, and I had to throw her out of the house. That is when she said, you're going to make my life miserable, I'll make your life miserable for the rest of your life. And the next day, my father died on the 11th. On the 12th, she filed this suit. It had never been an issue until that day.
Everything she just said was a complete lie.
Was there an incident that happened prior to your father's
My
death?
father's wife did not want me around for 15 years. I only live a quarter of a mile from my father. Okay, so it was my father that died also. Except my sister and I are adopted, and we have never gotten along. Okay, we were trying once again to have a family. My sister did work very hard so that I could see my father, and I did spend 36 hours up with him because I had not seen him in 15 years, other than twice in the mall. And it wasn't my doing; it was his wife's doing. You know, she's his wife.
Whatever.
So, yeah. So everybody was in the kitchen. I was staying with my father, not doing anything. And my sister said, we need to talk, and can we do this later? He's got hours here. And I wanted to be with him as much as I could. And all of a sudden she's telling me how she's going to call the police, and I never went to my father's wake or his burial because she told me I'm the one that was making everybody uncomfortable. Stayed away.
That's unfortunate.
But now that my father's dead, he was the pole for us to get together or do anything. And, probably after today, I'll never see my sister because we aren't close.
Well, that's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate.
That's unfortunate. But that's not the issue. The issue is there an expectation, an understanding that that money is going to be repaid at a time when you get back to work and your financial situation is improved? I have to determine whether that was your understanding with her.
Okay, can I say something, Your Honor?
You can say something quickly.
There was no understanding on that matter. Would it have been nice to have paid that? Yeah, I think basically, but after this was filed, this frivolous lawsuit, no, I think we don't owe that. We never agreed to that.
Well, let me ask you, if it was nice before, it
would have been nice.
For you to pay him back, right?
Perhaps.
Mr. Rodriguez, you know, life is about being a moral person.
I agree, Your Honor.
You're mouthing the words. You're mouthing the words, but you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you're a moral person, and if you are unemployed, and you have 2 children, are these your 2 children?
No, but I would consider my 2 children.
He's their stepfather.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do. I have one
Where are
child.
they?
Texas.
How old?
He's 22.
When was the last time you saw him? Almost not an
about
answer.
2 years.
2 years ago?
About 2 years ago.
I mean, don't you wake up some mornings and say, oh, I have a child that I haven't seen in 2 years?
Yeah, I do.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Rodriguez, listen to me very carefully, sir. Sometimes you're better off not speaking. Do you understand?
True.
Especially when it's not your family.
I understand, Your Honor.
Good.
But it just boils my blood that she's going to stand here and just makes silly accusations.
Mr. Rodriguez, she's not making any silly accusations.
I think
she's
so.
She's saying that her sister and her husband, 2 able-bodied people, had to borrow money from her. Stop shaking it. Had to borrow money. You don't use the word borrow. Had to take money from her in order to go on a vacation that had been planned for a year because you, sir, didn't have a job.
Right.
And as far as I'm concerned, you can always get a job. It's not necessarily the job that you like. When I used to sit in the family court, you know what I would do? On my way into work, I would pass all the places where there were signs that said help wanted. Car washes, grocery stores, fast food restaurants, and I would have a list of those places and their addresses. And whenever a father came to court and said, I don't have a job, I can't pay child support, I would say, I have a list here for you. Because when you make a family, you have to work. You don't rely on somebody else to take care of your business. That's why you're supposed to sometimes, Mr. Rodriguez, keep your mouth shut. Got it? Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $380. That's all.
Parties are excused. Case number 269 on the calendar in the matter of Feinstein versus Fairley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Mr. Feinstein, it is your complaint that you were assaulted and your car vandalized while you were at the defendant's bar.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the defendant, although I don't think you were there, is that right?
I wasn't there.
She says through her employees, I'm sure she has witnesses here, are going to tell me that you were very drunk.
Yes, ma'am.
And, well, I gather you acknowledge that you were very drunk, and any injuries that you sustained were sustained as a result of you flailing around and hurting yourself, and they don't know anything that happened to your car. So, what's the name of your bar, pub?
Scotland Yard Pub.
Which of your employees was there that evening?
Justin and Eric.
All right, stand up, please. And you don't know anything about this of your own personal knowledge?
No, I wasn't there.
You can have a seat. Justin?
Yes.
And Eric?
That's correct.
What is your given first name?
Lucky.
That's what your parents named you?
Yes, ma'am.
Interesting. Are you an only child?
No. There's 3 other siblings.
Are you the first, second, third, or the fourth?
I'm the 4th.
You're the last one.
Lucky to be here.
Got it. Okay. When did this incident happen at the pub?
The 22nd of what?
First, we got to get the date. Questions get harder, Lucky.
7/22, I believe it was.
Had you been to this pub before?
Only a couple times before this.
Immediately prior to the 22nd of July, when had you been to the pub?
Maybe a week before that.
So sometime the 15th, 16th.
Yeah.
Prior to that, when had you been to the club?
Maybe a month previous to that one.
Never had any trouble there?
Never, no.
You have a drinking problem?
No, not necessarily. Yeah, I like to drink, but I don't consider myself having a problem with it, no.
Well, according to you, Lucky, on the 22nd of July of 2005, you were drunk.
Yes, ma'am.
If I had to place a wager, I would say you have at least a minor problem with alcohol.
I would agree with that, yes.
Who do you live with?
I live with my parents.
They still think they're lucky?
I help them. I think that they do, yes, because I help them out.
So tell me what happened on the 22nd, Lucky.
Okay, in the afternoon, I was at my friend's restaurant, which is a couple doors down from theirs.
What were you doing there?
I was eating pizza. They have a pizza place. I've been going there for
the past 25 years, and I decided to go next door, and I was advised to never ever go into that place because I would end up in trouble there, because there's always trouble over there. I went over there and ended up there a lot longer than I anticipated. I had way more drinks than I, wanted to have, but I was having a good time, so I kept on.
How were you having a good time?
Well, I was shooting pool, and I was talking to people, and I was buying several people drinks. Then, approximately 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night, I made the mistake.
What time did you arrive there?
Oh, maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had maybe 12 beers there or something like that. I was out of control, I admit that, but I didn't cause any problems. I wasn't obnoxious.
When you say you were out of control, Lucky,
drinking-wise.
Tell me what you mean.
Drinking-wise, I overdid it drinking-wise, and I knew that I was drunk and I wasn't about to drive out of there to leave, I was going to call a taxi, and I went into the bathroom. That was the mistake I made because the bouncer was in there. No words were exchanged. I looked at him, and the next thing I know, I was out unconscious. And then I found myself in the parking lot, left for dead. When I came to, first thing I saw was him again.
Which one?
This guy here in the black shirt.
That would be Eric.
I asked him for help, realizing that my wallet was missing, and if I could go back in the bathroom to see if my wallet was in there. He said, "No, you're drunk. Get out of here." And then he said the police are coming too. So I said, well, okay, well, I would like to wait for the police and talk to them. The police came, and they just told me that I need to go home too. Call a taxi, do whatever, go home.
You have a police report?
Yes, I do. Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see it. Go ahead.
I went over to my truck, my tailgate, and sat there. A couple women came over and were sitting next to me, assuring me everything's going to be okay. A couple minutes go by, and the police come back again, which I was not causing any more problems, that's for sure.
Well, somebody called them.
They were called again.
But they weren't called by you.
No, ma'am.
So they were called by somebody about your behavior.
But I wasn't doing anything.
That's not my question. I said they were called by somebody about your behavior.
They were called a second time.
Oh, okay. Well, this isn't the police report about their call. This is a police report that you made that said that somebody punched you in the mouth and took your property. There has to be a police report of when they responded to their calls. You did call the police, didn't you?
I called the first time.
Who called the second time?
One of the customers. I was out in the parking lot.
You have a copy of that police report?
No, I do not.
Okay. So go ahead.
Okay, so then the police came for the second time, and they said, we're going to take you home. We're going to give you a taxi ride home. And they put me in handcuffs, which is very embarrassing to me to be put in handcuffs like I'm being arrested. At that point, I realized that I needed to go to the hospital. My face was puffing up, my back of my head, I was dizzy. So they said, would you like an ambulance? I said, yes, I would very much like an ambulance. I went to the hospital, they sewed my lip up, and then I walked back towards my vehicle, which is several miles away from there. And it was about 2:30 in the morning at that time. I realized that my truck was vandalized. My windshield was busted. My car was keyed around the sides of my car. My tailpipes were kicked down to the ground. And at that point, I realized that I better not say anything to them. And so there was a taxi out in the parking lot, and I was taken home. The very next morning, I went back there, and I talked to the owner, Patrick Sirely, and asked him if he would mind paying my hospital bill because I was beaten up in his establishment.
But you don't know who beat you up.
I'm not clear on that, but all I know is I saw him, and then I was out cold. And then I found myself in the parking lot coming to, and then I saw him again, at my feet, basically. Or I was at his feet.
So who's going to start?
I'll start.
Okay, take your hands out of your pockets and start.
When I got to work that night at 7, he came up to order another beer about a half hour into my shift, and I noticed that he was intoxicated, so I refused to serve him, and he went haywire and slammed his fist down on the bar.
Put your hand down, sir.
Called me a name that I don't think I can say. He started ripping up $100 bills in front of everyone from his wallet. Nobody laid a finger on him inside the bar. I didn't want to get into a physical altercation with him, so I waited till our doorman got on at 9. Finally, when he was put outside of the bar, he kept charging Eric, trying to bust his way back in. I went out to see what was going on. He threatened to get a gun from his truck and kill me and Eric and everybody else in the parking lot. Began kicking his own truck, pounding his head into his own truck, and punching into his own truck and other people's cars in the parking lot. At one point, he knelt down in front of Eric, took off his shirt, and said, just kill me right now, just kill me right now. And that's what it seemed like it was going to get to a point where I needed to call the police because people were very angry that he was...
Is that when you called the police the first time?
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If you drank too much, it's your fault. Nobody got you down there with a funnel and filled your stomach full of beer. You managed to do that all by yourself.
And later today...
You think you have an obligation to support your daughter?
He never asked for support, or I would have given it to him.
Why does he have to ask?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lucky Feinstein says, during a night of drinking, he was assaulted by bar doorman Eric Galan. Eric and his co-worker Justin Murphy claim Lucky was out of control drunk.
Okay, Eric, you got on about 9 o'clock?
Yeah, about 9 o'clock, and it wasn't too long until Justin called me over. And I tell Lucky that he was done for the evening, he needed to go someplace else. He asked why. He said, I told him that, you were giving a problem to our bartender. Come back some other night, I'll buy you a beer, and, that'll be the end of it. He got upset and irate, said that he had a gun in his truck, and he was going to start shooting the place up. One of the customers that was sitting outside got upset by that. They started having a yelling match. I got involved. I separated the two, and he continued to threaten people that were around. He said, I was going to come back and get you, shoot you, shoot you. And that's when he tried to bully his way through me. And as soon as he touched me, I just put him to the ground and held him down.
When you say you put him to the ground, how did you put him to the ground, Eric?
Tripped his leg and put him on his back, one hand on his chest, one hand holding his arm. I said he needed to calm down. As soon as I let go of his arm, he swung on me. And I just knocked it out of the way and held him down again. And Justin was outside and said, do I need to call the cops? I said, yes, please call the police officers. I got off of Lucky, went inside to make sure the cops were coming. Came back outside like after a minute or two, and Lucky was already laid up against the wall at the pizzeria. Now, I didn't talk to Lucky at all in the bathroom. I don't know where that came from. So after he was laid out, he woke up like a couple minutes later, and he asked me who knocked him out. I had no idea who did it. And then he started accusing me that I stole his wallet.
Did you find his wallet in the pub? Did you find your wallet subsequently?
No, Your Honor, I didn't.
The police officers came. They spoke with him. They spoke with me. They said they needed to take another call, but he was going to leave the area. He was walking down the alley. And as soon as the cops were out of sight, he came back and continued to talk to some other person who wasn't even there that night.
Where were you when you observed this?
Standing at the door.
You remember any of that, sir?
No, ma'am. I never left that parking lot. I was waiting for the police to come because I wanted
The police came already, sir. They came and they left.
Right, and then they came back a second time.
Right. My question is, why did they have to come back a second time? Why didn't you just leave?
Because I was very drunk. I wasn't about to go anywhere, and I was sitting on my tailgate wondering, what am I going to do now?
Listen to me very carefully, sir. When you're very drunk, it's very, very difficult for a court to make a judgment as to the veracity, the truthfulness of what you testify to, and to give any credence to what you testify to. You are asking me to believe you above two people who were working that evening, sober that evening, have a clear recollection, at least according to them, of what transpired that evening, as opposed to believing you who was so drunk they didn't know on which pole they were at.
Ma'am, I'm saying that they're lying about this whole thing, that he's saying that he didn't give me any more drinks after 7 o'clock at night. I was in there drinking heavily. I was having beer after beer. They gave me way, way too many beers, in my opinion. I don't think that
How
that's
old
right.
are you?
I'm 41.
So is this what your complaint is, sir, that the bar overserved you?
Yes, ma'am, one thing. But I don't think that that should
Eric,
happen.
we started this case by my saying to you, do you have a drinking problem? And you said to me, I don't think so. Maybe a little. That's like being a little bit pregnant. You never have a little bit of a drinking problem, Lucky. Now, if you were 18 years old, I would say, I'm going to nail them, because a bar should know that a kid comes in and you don't serve a kid more alcohol than they can consume. When you're 41 years old, you're supposed to know how much alcohol you can consume and still have your wits about you. And according to you, you were warned. Warned! Don't go in there. There's always trouble in that bar. But when you were at this place twice before, according to you, you had no trouble. So they clearly didn't have it in for you for any reason.
I believe that they do have it in for me.
Explain that to me.
Because mainly there's just Mexicans in there, and they always call me white boy.
Lucky. Did they call you white boy on the 15th of July?
No.
Did they call you white boy the month before that when you went in there?
No.
You didn't change composition from July 15th to July 22nd, did you? You were drunk. Stop blaming the rest of the world. You were drunk. Either you fell, you got beaten up, you don't know who did it, your car got trashed, you don't know who did that, You have to accept responsibility for your own behavior. If you drank too much, it's your fault. Nobody got you down there with a funnel and filled your stomach full of beer. Nobody. You managed to do that all by yourself. If you had gotten into your car and killed somebody on the way home, I would take every piece of property that this lady had.
Which someday will happen.
Just a second. I would take every piece of property that this lady had, because under those circumstances, both of you would be responsible. I take every bit of property you had, and I take every bit of property she had, because somebody who was innocent got killed. The only one that got hurt that night was you. And you caused that yourself. So deal with it. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You can step out.
They're lying. No, I don't have a gun.
He threatened me. He pounded his fist on the bar.
No, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Started harassing the female customers.
I don't know if it was the bartender, but a lot of people, they beat me up.
Threatening people who were trying to help.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Suda, Frazier versus Heb. Step forward, please.
18-year-old student Nikki Frazier and guardian Sam Suter are suing Nikki's mother, Stacy Heb, for child support costs. Nikki says her mom won't turn over child support she receives from her father.
Mr. Suter, your complaint is that you and your family were nothing but kind to the defendant. She was having some difficulty, and she was unemployed several years ago. Her daughter and your daughter were friends since grade school, and you volunteered to give her a home.
Yes, ma'am.
When she was 16. How did you do in their home, in the Suter home? Did you do okay?
Yes.
Did you graduate yet?
Oh, I graduate in a couple weeks.
What are you doing after graduation?
I want to go to college.
How did you do in high school?
I make good grades.
She's been AB honor roll all through high school.
Did you apply to college?
No, I did not.
Why not?
Because the application fees are like $50 for each application, and my mom told me she'd help me pay for them, but she never helped me pay for it.
So, Mr. Suter, this is your lawsuit. Ms. Fraser lived with you for 2 years, and you got no support for her from her mother. You did not even seek support.
No, ma'am.
But then you found out that Ms. Heb was getting support for Nikki from Nikki's father, and you feel as if that's unfair.
Somewhat, yes.
This is not rocket science, Ms. Heb. How long have you been divorced from Nikki's father?
Since she was about 6 or 7.
Do you have other children?
Yes, ma'am.
Are the other children also the product of this marriage?
No, ma'am.
And how much do you receive from Nikki's father for her support?
$50 a week.
What did you do with the money since 2003?
When she has called and said that she didn't have any food in the house and she needed me to take her to eat, I would feed her. If she's needed personal hygiene items, I've taken her. I've paid her cell phone bills. And yes, I did tell her that I would pay for her application fees. She never came to me and said, I've applied here and I need
I'm
the
not
money.
worried about college fees right now and application fees. How do you support yourself?
I'm a live-in nanny.
You think you have an obligation to support your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
So that the things you bought for her, the few toiletries you bought for her, or paying a cell phone bill, you did that for your daughter because you're her mother. That's what you do.
Yes, ma'am.
The $50 a week that you were getting from her father should have gone to the Suter family.
He never asked for support, or I would have given it to him.
Why does he have to ask? Did you ever say to him, Miss Heb, Mr. Suter, I get money for Nikki's support from her father. It's not right that I keep it. I'm going to turn it over to you when I get it.
No, ma'am, I didn't. I instead, like I said, whenever she would call and said that she needed things, I would take care of her.
Well, that's what you did for her because you're her mother. She has 2 parents, a mother and a father. You're the mother. You work. If you have to take care of a few items, if you happen to take care of a few items for your daughter, that's very nice of you. The other $50 a week, if her father knew that she wasn't living in your home, did your father know you weren't living?
He just found out recently because I didn't have his number to get a hold of him.
If her father knew, I guarantee you, her father wouldn't have said, well, I'm going to send her money.
Her father has known. She's gone and seen him since she's lived with Mr. Suter.
I'm just curious. Not that I'm taking this for the truth of what you're going to tell me, but just my own curiosity. Did he ever say to you, if he knew that she wasn't living with you, I'd like to send the money to Mr. Suter?
No, ma'am.
Never did?
No, ma'am.
He must have had a lobotomy. Ms. Heb, this is not a difficult case. It doesn't even test my academic prowess. The last 2 years, your daughter has been living with the Suter family, and you've collected $50 a week, roughly $2,500 a year. The Suters are suing you for $5,000 because that's approximately what you've collected over the time that your daughter has been living with the Suters from her father, and that money should have been turned over to the Suter family immediately. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $5,000. That's all. Make those college applications.
Parties are excused. You may stand on the calendar. Bear with me. In the matter of Greco-Reese versus Haspatka.
Who's Haspatka?
Me.
Good. Go.
Heinlein, Hamilton, and Archulewski. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
You see, when you're in charge, you could take certain license. So let me show you what I'm going to do. That's
Okay.
Mr. A, B, C, and D.
I wish I could have done that.
Where is your rental property?
I'm sorry, Omaha, Nebraska.
And you rent this house to college students.
Well, I just rent it. It just happens to be college students that always.
You've rented to college students
Well,
before,
yeah.
so you rent to college students.
Yeah.
You have any dislike for this property? You hate
Well,
this property?
This is the first time I've ever had any trouble.
Did you always rent to girls in the past?
No.
You rented to boys?
Mm-hmm.
Never had any trouble?
No.
Miraculous. How big is this house that you rented, Mr. A?
It's a split entry, 4-bedroom. I don't know the square footage.
And what was the rent on the house?
I believe it was $950, split 4 ways.
And when did you start your lease?
August 1st, 2003.
Name of the university you attended?
University of Nebraska at Omaha.
What year are you in?
4th year, senior.
Senior as well.
Senior.
Senior.
Raise your hand if you're a good golfer.
Is that anybody in here?
No, just you. All right, Ms. Reese, this is the situation. According to your complaint, these 4 young slobs destroyed your house, and in addition to leaving the place a mess, they decided to play golf off the roof of your house at some point and cause substantial damage to your roof.
Yes, ma'am.
So you want them to pay for the repairs.
Yes.
The boys say they didn't have a chance to clean up because you changed the locks on the house, which must have been the month of July, right?
Correct.
End of July, yeah.
End of July.
End of mid-July, right?
Yeah.
Well, end of mid-July.
End to mid-July.
I don't remember
sorry.
the exact date. Sometime after the 20th of July.
So the end of July, she changed the locks.
Yes.
Why do you think she changed the locks, gentlemen?
I don't know. She claims that we abandoned the house, but we did not. We still had property in there.
Did you pay July's rent?
No.
Well, just a minute. Mr. D says yes. You say no. Mr. D, did you pay July's rent?
The security deposit, she took that as last month's rent, is what she told us. She said we didn't have to pay last month's rent, she would keep the security deposit.
Why would anybody in their right mind say that until they inspected the house?
Good question.
No,
Who
I
did
have no
she
idea.
say that to?
On the phone. On July 19th, the day rent was due.
July 19th. Then what did you say?
She called me. I was in bed. She woke me up and she said she was talking about rent due today, and I said, yeah, I know. I'm going to bring it down later. And she said, but if you guys, don't pay it, I'll just keep the security deposit as last month's rent.
Is that what you told him?
No, ma'am. There was so much damage in the house that I could have used another 2 months' rent to fix what I fixed in that house.
Listen, Mr. A, maybe it's just that you were groggy.
No.
Because what you just told me was that you said to your landlord, I'm going to bring the rent down later on today, and she said, nah, forget it.
She didn't say, nah, forget it. But she left me with the understanding that
well, that's different.
If we did not
So
pay
that-
last month's rent, I don't remember exact words, I'm sorry, this was a long time ago. I was under the understanding when I hung up the phone that if we decided that we didn't want to pay last month's rent, she would keep the security deposit.
Well, maybe you said to her, maybe since you don't remember the exact words, and maybe the impression was left with you because you said to her, I'm not giving you the last month's rent, keep the security deposit. Because then, that was on the 19th, sir?
Yes.
When did she change the locks on the house?
Like I said, sometime after the 20th. It was
Well,
about,
that would have been,
about
listen to me,
Okay.
listen to me, that would have been the very next day. So that makes sense to me. What makes sense to me is she called you and said, where's the rent? And you said, you're not getting the rent, you keep the security deposit. And then she says, oh yeah, I'm changing the locks on the house. That makes sense. Not, don't come down and pay me the rent. I'll keep the security deposit for the last month. And then she goes in and changes the locks. That doesn't make sense. Okay, now, what I would like to see from you is photographs of the house if you have it.
Yep, those here.
And after I look at the photographs of the house, I would like to hear from your witness, if any. I assume that this is your witness, who's going to tell me something about these golf balls being hit off the roof, which A, B, and C deny. And D. Forgot about you. Sorry. Well, something's going on up there. Do you have major hailstorms?
No.
Nebraska?
Not that year.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, we did.
Major hailstorms?
Not that time.
You gotta be kidding me.
It was probably the worst year for hail we've had in quite a while, actually.
Really? And you think that the hailstorms did this damage to the roof?
I don't know what the damage looks like, but...
Well, I'm going to show it to you. You can bring this over and share it with A through D.
Pass them down, boys.
Your Honor.
I assume since you didn't see the damage and you don't know anything about the
I
damage...
do know one thing.
Yes.
I found out today that they had a fifth person living in my house because the man that came to help
Mr.
the last D,
Mr.
to
D.
help D
Perfect.
move out, was the one that told my new renters what they did, and they started it July 4th.
Just a second. You're the new renter?
That's correct.
Tell me your name.
Robert Schneider.
Mr. Schneider, when did you meet these gentlemen, if at all?
I believe it was either the 25th or shortly after the 25th of July.
And where did you meet them?
At the home.
What were they doing there?
They were removing their belongings.
Did you have a conversation with any of these gentlemen?
Yes, I had a conversation with a close friend of the defendants. He said to me...
Just a second. What was his name?
You know, I don't recall at this time. I'm kind of flustered with names. I don't recall names very well. I'm more of a face person.
I can't take your testimony. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
This is a court. Court, we take evidence, Miss Reese. If this young man had had a conversation with one of these defendants, then certainly he could have testified if any of them made an admission to him. But you want me to take his testimony about somebody whose name he doesn't know, who's not present today, and that's hearsay, okay, to support your case. So I can't do that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I've had 5 children who all went to college and who all, at one time or another, lived in rental property. And I remember I used to check to see if my inoculations were in order before I went to visit them.
And later today,
He had become more and more erratic as we had progressed in our relationship, and we'd been in counseling, and he had been on some drugs to help him deal with it.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Gail Greco-Rees says her former tenants, Joel Hospodka, Ronald Heinlein II, Adam Hamilton, and J.J. Archieweski for damage to a rental property. Gail says the house looked like it had never been cleaned.
Okay. Do you have any photographs of the interior of the house, Miss Reese?
Your Honor, I lost, well, I didn't lose them, my sister-in-law did, but I have the letter I sent them with all the things that were wrong with the house. It was the abandonment letter that my attorney told me to write to them.
Whose job was it to clean the bathroom?
Kind of a joint effort. Yeah.
Well, nobody, I see nobody raised their hand.
It was.
Okay. Who cleaned the bathrooms?
Usually probably me.
That would be... Because it says here, the bathrooms, and in big letters it says, the bathrooms were disgusting. It appears as if it has never been cleaned. Well, based upon the lack of showing of hands, I would say that that's probably true. It's too late. Too late. Holes in the walls in the master bedroom, broken window, broken door frame. Who had the dog? Raise your hand. Dog! Mr. D, Mr. A. What kind of dog did you have?
We had 3 Chihuahuas.
Whose job was it to pick up the poop in the house from the dogs?
Whoever's dog it was.
Everybody pretty much.
And who did it?
We all did.
We all did.
Oh, there was some you missed.
Small dog.
Small dog. It's disgusting. You know, but you know.
Your Honor,
I've had 5 children who all went to college and who all, at one time or another, lived in rental property. And I remember I used to check to see if my inoculations were in order before I went to visit them. And if they would ever ask me, would you like to go visit my friend's house, I would say, no, thank you. They can join us for breakfast at McDonald's. Because I don't go to anybody else's mess. Bad enough I have to go and look at your mess. Yeah. So you have to understand that you've been very fortunate if you haven't had a mess.
This
like
is the first time I've had it this bad.
Now, I'm not even addressing the golf balls over here because you don't have any proof of that. You don't have any confessions and you don't have any witnesses who saw them hitting golf balls off the roof. And I'm not going to get any admissions from these guys because nobody even wants to admit who did the bathroom. Aside from the roof, let me see estimates of the damage to the house.
I didn't have them because I just wrote everything down when I sent them in that abandonment letter.
Yeah, well, that's not
and
good
at
enough.
the time of the lease, when they signed the lease, they asked if they could have one dog.
I don't care whether they have one dog, they can have one dog, they have 20 dogs. They got to clean up the dog's poop and not leave it in the closet. Listen, they did not pay the last month's rent. And they were there after the 18th of July. Therefore, they owe you the entire month's rent. That's $950. And based upon what I see in your abandonment letter and what they concede about the condition of the house, that they had 2 dogs, I mean, that's not something that you guess at. You guessed that they had 2 dogs. You found remnants of the dogs there. I can guarantee you that it cost $900 to fix up the mess that you left in the house. So you owe her $950 for rent, and you owe her $950 for cleanup. Well, you've already paid her $950 because that is your security deposit. Right. So, gentlemen, you owe the plaintiff $950. Divvy it up. That's it. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
One of their friends told one of my new renters why the roof was damaged.
Everything on the roof is baloney, if you ask me. We never went on the roof. I don't know where she got that from.
I changed the locks and told them they had to call me when they were ready to get their stuff, that they were not going into the house.
There was stuff that we damaged. She didn't have a chance for us to fix it. I mean, she just changed the locks.
They're seniors in college. I hate to see what they did in high school.
We're 4 college guys. Obviously, there's going to be damages done to the house.
I feel sorry for the ladies that marry him.
In my opinion, she's a pathological liar, and now I understand why she's single.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gillitzer versus Morris. Step forward, please.
25-year-old administrative assistant Frank Gillitzer is suing his ex-fiancée, ballroom dance instructor Mally Morris, for the return of the engagement ring. Mally claims Frank told her she could keep it.
Mr. Gillitzer, how long were you and Miss Morris engaged?
Exactly 1 year to the date.
And when did you become engaged?
October 18th, 2002.
And when did the engagement terminate?
October 18th, 2003.
And you are seeking in this lawsuit the return of the engagement ring?
Correct.
When did you ask for the ring back?
I believe the correct date on that is the end of January. Once we terminated the relationship October 18th, and then at the end of January, that's when I asked for the ring back. Because we started talking again and trying to reestablish the relationship at the end of November. And I moved back to Milwaukee on January 4th of 2004. And at the end of the month, I found out that it just is not going to work. At that point, I started asking for the ring back.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Frank Gillitzer says his ex-fiancée, Mally Morris, owes for the return of the engagement ring.
Okay. What did Miss Morris say to you the first time you asked for the ring back?
The first time, she said no, she's not giving it back. And
Did she give you a reason?
Honestly, at that time, no. I have emails stating that she's just not returning anything of the ring or...
Well, let me see if you have an email with regard to the ring.
Here are 3 emails stating that she's not giving the ring back.
Why wouldn't you want to give him the ring back?
Well, Your Honor, I had already returned the ring, and then...
When did you return the ring?
I returned the ring on the day, October 18th, that I removed my items from his home. Following that, we did start talking again. We became friendly. He asked me to please keep the ring. He didn't want the ring. He didn't want the emotional attachment. I said, all right.
So what you're telling me is he told you to keep the ring?
Yes. And I have a statement from him to that effect.
I only have one email on January 31st where you say I'm not sending it back.
Correct. I didn't have the ring. At the time that he emailed me, he had become more and more erratic as we had progressed in our relationship, and we'd been in counseling, and he had been on some drugs to help him deal with it. When I received his first email, I didn't know what to think of it because I thought that he was in possession of the ring at the time.
When was that?
I think he came into the possession of the ring in December. We went to a meeting together at KU. In the car, I had the ring, and I also had a dance videotape.
Where was the ring?
It was in the cup holder of my car.
Why?
I had just taken it off. I have kids, and I take it on and off, and I had left it in the car. But after that night, I could not find either the video or the ring. And
you had gone together
yes,
to the
and
meeting?
we had gone together.
In the same car?
Yes.
You remember going to that meeting?
I remember going to the meeting, and I remember the tape. I purchased that tape because we were both dance instructors at the time, and to use it for choreography, I told her that I purchased the tape, I would like to take it and make a copy of it, and I'll give you the copy of the tape.
So you took the tape?
Correct.
With her permission?
Yes.
Is that right?
No, ma'am. He told me that at a later date. When I found that he had the tape, he said, don't worry, I'll give you a copy of it.
Is that the way it came about?
No, it's not. We discussed it earlier, prior to that, back at the end of November.
Well, from November to the time you took the tape in December, did you discuss it with her?
Yes, we have.
That night, did you discuss it with her?
No. Honestly, it was on the dashboard of the car, and since we already talked about it, I figured I'll just take it.
Okay, and you drove there together?
Correct.
And you drove home together?
Correct.
Did you make plans to see each other after that night in December?
Yes.
When?
The next day, I assume.
Did you see each other the next day?
I do not believe that we made plans to see each other. I don't think that I saw him after that event, before he left for Wisconsin. I did speak with him on the phone.
Do you remember when?
I don't. We spoke off and on throughout December and January.
Do you remember when the first time that you raised the issue of the tape?
It was early in January. KU has a activities fair.
Okay,
and we
so that
used
was in early January. You asked him about the tape?
Yes.
And what did he say?
He said, well, yes, I have the tape, but don't worry, I'll get you a copy.
Fine. When did you ask him about the ring?
I'd never asked him about the ring.
Well, it would seem to me that you'd want to know whether or not the ring that you left in the cup holder was also taken at the same time as the tape, since you were talking in January.
Well, Mr. Gillitzer was very confrontational throughout our relationship, and we had a really hard time at the end.
But you were still talking to each other, according
I was
to you.
trying to remain friendly.
All right. All right, let me see the bill for the engagement ring, please. Okay. Not a very difficult case. Miss Morris, it's been my experience that if something doesn't make sense, it's usually not true. I'm a tad older than you are. I have never taken off one of my rings and left it in the cup holder in a car. Never. That doesn't mean that it's impossible that you took off the ring and left it in the cup holder of a car. That just means it's not within my realm of experience, and I'm a pretty normal gal. It also doesn't make sense that you would ask him within days about the tape, but not ask him whether or not, in addition to taking the tape, he happened to take the engagement ring that was in the cup holder of the car. That doesn't make sense to me. And you have an obligation, once the engagement is over, to return the ring to him. You don't have it to return to him, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,853. That's all.
Parties are excused. 3:38 on the calendar in the matter of Calderon versus Calderon.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mr. Calderon, this is your former wife, according to your complaint. Subsequent to your divorce, when all matters of finances had been resolved, your wife used a credit card that was in your name without your authorization, and it was a gas credit card, and according to you, in a very short period of time, a few days, she ran up a bill of well over $500. You want to be compensated for that. Ms. Calderon states in her answer that she believed that you left this card open for her because you were being a nice guy and you knew that she was struggling financially. Of course, you say that when you confronted her with it, her reaction was somewhat different. Can I see a copy of your judgment of divorce, please?
Yes.
You were married for 25 years?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Is that right? And you have kids?
Yes.
How many children?
2.
Grown?
Yes.
It is clear from the judgment of divorce that any and all liabilities incurred after December 14th of 2004 belong to each of you separately. Now, when were these credit card bills made?
October 13th through the 19th.
Of 2005?
Of 2005. I have a
Can I see them, please? How did you become aware of them, sir?
I received a letter of address change, and I knew that I had not changed my address. I didn't even know the credit card existed. And when I called them, they
told me that I had requested to change my address, and I thought that there was something wrong with that and asked if there was any charges on the account.
Okay, Ms. Calderon, the ball is in your court. Explain it to me, please.
Basically, the reason that I was in the situation I was in is because I was so heavily in debt and destroyed from what he had done to me from this divorce, because he knew that last year when my daughter graduated high school, my oldest daughter graduated college, and my oldest daughter got married, that I had put a lot of money into that. And
this has nothing to do
well,
with that.
but this is why I was.
Calderon,
this is why.
This has nothing to do with that. This is not.
I would have never used it though.
This is not even a large amount of money. We're talking about a gas credit card where it's clear you allowed someone else to use this gas credit card.
I got gas for my kids. We were all struggling. He destroyed us all.
Just a second. In 4 days, you got gas for your children. You have 2 children and yourself.
Right.
You filled up the cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know what's $98.20. That's not a car fill up. Or $83.
Or a case of oil.
A case of oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times. Let us assume 3 people's cars. 13 times in a 4-day period. So, Ms. Calderon, don't play with me. This is not because you needed money.
Yes, it was.
When you enter into an agreement, and I assume that this was your agreement, it looks as if it was boilerplate clauses, you agreed that after December of 2004, you would not make any debts for the other party. You chose not to do that.
His friend told my daughter that he left the card open for me to use because he felt sorry for me because he knew how hard of a time I was having.
Oh, okay, well, that's a different story. Is that person here today?
Yes.
Step up, sir. Tell me your name.
David Dover.
Mr. Dover, did you ever tell Mr. Calderon's daughter that this credit card was left open?
No, ma'am. I never knew the card existed. I never knew anything about it.
Step up. You're the daughter?
Yes.
Your name?
Angela Schubert.
Angela, tell me about this alleged conversation.
We were going to dinner for my birthday, and I was sitting in front, and we had just found out I was pregnant that day. It was August 18th. We picked up my dad from work, and we work at, well, it was before we picked him up for work. And we were just talking about the divorce, you know. I was trying to get to know him since, you know, he lives with my dad now. And he just happened to say, well, your dad did leave a gas card open for your mom. Because we didn't know, because all the gas cards were closed.
Let me ask you this question. Somebody must have been complaining about money.
No.
So, because the statement that you ascribed to this gentleman, well, this is what you said, well, your dad did leave a gas card open for your mom.
We were talking
is
about,
always a response to something said to him.
We were talking about how hard it was for everyone in the divorce, and how it happened. We were talking about how hard it was. And he said, well, you know, your dad left a gas card open for your mom, and, you know, to help her out a little bit.
And you went back and told her, shh.
I didn't tell her right away.
You didn't tell her right away. When did you tell her?
Maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks tops.
Okay, so a week and a half, 2 weeks tops, you tell your mother. And your mother didn't have this credit card.
Yes, I do.
Just a second. You didn't have it. According to you, you found it. Listen to me. You found it. When did you find it?
I wasn't trying to use any of the credit cards.
When did you find it?
When she told me he left it open for me and we were having such a hard time.
Well, did you call him and say...
I can't. We don't communicate.
What do you mean? You don't have a telephone?
He communicates through the kids.
Before I would extend his credit based upon hearsay, I would have picked up a telephone or sent him a note. Is it true that I can use this credit card? I certainly would have at least, if I believed that it was true that he held open this credit card, Miss Calderon, I would have tried it for 1 month. He would have gotten the bill and he would have said, well, I have a $40 bill for gas. I wonder what this is from. But you didn't do that. You charged $500 worth of gas in 4 days. And then, according to your former husband, when he confronted you, because you did call her.
I actually contacted her via email. I don't call her. I had to change my number so many times.
Fine, so you didn't?
But I did contact her.
And what was her response?
She said that go ahead and prosecute her. It would be well worth it for the look on my face.
Can I see it, please?
I was shocked that he wanted to prosecute me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I still am in shock that he's done what he's done to us. And
You're shocked?
I never thought he was that cold-blooded, and I still can't believe it.
And later today,
I said, I'm calling the police. And she said she took him and she pawned him and she thought she could get him back in my jewelry box before I noticed.
That's what drug addicts do, not casual marijuana smokers.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Alan Calderon says ex-wife Linda Calderon made unauthorized charges on his credit card.
Well, this email acknowledges, Miss Calderon, that you used this card, but you said, I figured I'd be able to make payments just like you would.
If he had a problem with what I got. But I got things to help us because I knew how he always tries to make himself appear to be generous, but his MO is not generosity. And
Listen
I knew
to me, he doesn't have to be generous with you anymore.
He has never been generous with
Miss
me.
Calderon, then you stayed with somebody for 25 years who wasn't generous. You're divorced now. And what you have to do is you have to put a period and move forward. The economics of divorce is never easy. When you try to run two households on the same salaries that you were using to support one household, that's never easy for anybody. But what you cannot do is, you cannot say, I have a contract, and I'm not satisfied with the terms of the contract, so I can, because of necessity, because I was married to him for 25 years, because we have children together, they have needs, whatever, I'm going to extend his credit. You can't do that.
I still am in shock that he's done what he's done to us.
Listen to me.
And
You're shocked.
I never thought he was that cold-blooded, and I still can't believe it.
The retaliation was not to use a credit card.
I didn't do it in retaliation.
Well, then you got to pay it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $507. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was married to a snake, and I had no idea I was.
My ex-wife has been harassing me, and this is just another form of harassment.
It's all because of self-indulgence and selfishness that someone would do this to their family in the first place.
She actually moved out on me, but if you hear her talk, she'd think that, I left her.
I don't know who he is, and I thought that, he really was trying to be generous and help us.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter, Schoonmaker versus Huddleston. Step forward.
Susan Jane Schoonmaker is suing her daughter, 20-year-old Heather Huddleston, for stealing and pawning her wedding rings. Heather claims she had her mother's permission.
The Schoonmaker, this young lady is your daughter, and according to your complaint, she owes you some money. She owes you some money because, as a result, according to you, of her drug abuse, she fell behind in her rent. She and her boyfriend, and she came to you for money, and you gave her jewelry to pawn. She pawned the jewelry. She was supposed to get it out. She didn't. You lost the jewelry. You want the money. Is that right?
Well, she also stole my wedding rings out of my jewelry box and pawned them without my knowledge.
For how long has your daughter had a drug problem?
I didn't know that she had one. She told me it was her boyfriend.
When she came to you and asked for money, she told you that the boyfriend had a drug problem?
She said that he was spending money on things he shouldn't be. He was doing drugs and stuff like that.
So then why in the world would you give her jewelry to pawn?
I gave it to her so she would have a place to live. I didn't want her.
Why couldn't she come home?
I have other children that I don't want exposed to the lifestyle that she was doing.
Well, just a second. I thought you said there was nothing wrong with her lifestyle. It was the boyfriend.
I don't know what her lifestyle was. I know that she was spending money and doing things that she should not be doing.
Then you
That's the reason that
you
she
shouldn't
left.
have given her your jewelry.
You're right.
So then what are you doing in court?
I'm doing it in court because she stole rings from my jewelry box that I had no knowledge of.
I want you to forget about the pawn jewelry.
Right.
And I think that you knew what her lifestyle was, and that if you gave her jewelry to pawn, there was no legitimate expectation of you getting this money back, because drug abusers don't return money. Drug abusers put money in their arms or up their noses. Right, Miss Huddleston?
Yes, ma'am.
Your mother says that after she gave you this jewelry to pawn, which you did, you stole some property from her. Did you?
That's not true.
Well, tell me about these wedding rings that she said that you took.
The wedding rings she never wore, and I came upon a time when I needed money for rent, and she told me to go ahead and take the jewelry out of her jewelry box, the wedding rings, to pawn them so I could pay rent, because she never wore them. She hasn't worn them in 5 years.
That's not true.
What other jewelry did she give you?
Previously, she had given me a bag of gold necklaces and a ring that my grandmother had given her. She offered it. I never asked her for money. I told her that I was having problems, and she offered it to me.
That's not true.
What kind of drugs were you or are you involved with?
I was smoking marijuana, and she knew.
And the boyfriend?
Anything and everything.
But not you?
The only thing I ever did was marijuana.
Susan Jane Schoonmaker says her daughter, Heather Huddleston, stole her wedding rings and pawned them.
Still with the boyfriend?
Nope.
Who do you live with now?
I live with friends in Arizona.
Do you work?
Not yet. I'm a student.
You're a student where?
At massage therapy school.
Who pays for it?
I got a grant.
Who pays for your living expenses?
I do.
From what?
I have money.
From what?
Doing various jobs. I clean houses and babysit.
Oh, what a bunch of baloney. What a bunch of baloney.
It's true.
My dear Miss Huddleston, you wouldn't know the truth if it came up and cracked you in the face. The wedding rings, when did you find out that they were missing?
When I always go into my jewelry box because I keep my earrings and everything in there. I wasn't wearing the rings because one of the diamonds was loose.
Don't tell me when you weren't wearing them. You weren't wearing them.
I wasn't wearing them, and they were gone. I called her at school. She was going to massage therapy school at the time when this happened, and I said, my wedding rings are gone. Do you know where they are? Have you done? She goes, no, I don't know, but when I come home, I will help you find them. And she came home, and I sat her down, and I said, I'm calling the police. And once the police are involved, if you're involved, you're going to jail because I can't stop it. And she said she took them, and she pawned them, and she thought she could get them back in my jewelry box before I noticed.
That's what drug addicts do.
I know.
Not casual marijuana smokers. How much were the wedding rings pawned for?
$150.
Did you go to the pawn shop to try to get them back?
I didn't know what pawn shop it was, and her boyfriend called me and told me after she left him for no reason, he didn't even know that she had left him, that he went down to the pawn shop because that's where he gave her the money to go down and pick them up and bring them to me. She told me she was on her way to my house to do laundry and bring me my rings and never showed up. And this is the first time I've seen her since then. The pawn shop had sold all the rings a while ago.
You know who she's living with now?
A guy that she met on the internet.
One guy? Or
One
friend?
guy with his old girlfriend and his baby.
How old is she?
She'll be 21 in December. I've tried to help her. I don't know how else to help her. And I feel like she needs to start paying for the things that she's doing. And I just thought here at least she would start seeing what her actions are going to start becoming. They're going to get worse. I don't want to have to pick her up in jail. And I won't.
Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom before you're ready to turn your life around.
That's what I'm hoping.
When did she leave home?
She left home when she was 19.
You go to live with this boyfriend?
She knew him a week and left.
Who else lives at home with you?
My 17-year-old daughter, my 12-year-old daughter, and my 10-year-old son.
You know what these rings were appraised for that she took?
I went in and I got an estimate on what it would cost to replace all of the rings.
Not all the rings.
No, I know, but it has just them separated. My wedding ring and my engagement ring set is on here. $28.99 for the engagement ring and $880 for the wedding ring.
Are you still married to the man who gave you the rings?
Yes, I am. We've lived together for 16 years.
He's not her father?
He's not her father. But you'd never know the difference.
Anything you want to say?
She told me that those rings were remnants of an unhappy marriage and that she was happy to get rid of them. And that's why she let me pawn them. And
I never said that.
I just think it's really funny, you know, she was helping me out, and now because she's getting in trouble from my stepdad and my grandma, she's got to turn around and blame it on me, and I just don't think that's fair.
What do you think is fair?
I didn't do anything wrong. She gave it to me.
You did do something wrong. You came to your mother and you said, I got a drug addict boyfriend, I'm behind in the rent, you were living a lifestyle that was inappropriate, and you came to your mother, who clearly is not a rich lady, because if she was a rich lady, she would have had the money to give you for the rent. She didn't, so all she had was this bag of jewelry, and you're a big girl. You chose to be a big girl. You chose to move out of your house and live on your own.
I never asked her to help me. She offered to help.
How would she know that you needed anything unless you came to her and said, I don't
She's
have
the one
rent?
that asked.
Listen to me. How would she know that you needed money unless you came to her and told her that you didn't have rent money?
Because I came over one day and I was upset. And like any caring mother would, she asked what was wrong. At least I thought she was caring. Sorry.
You got to do the right thing. You still have time. If you continue to make bad choices in your life, you know what's going to happen. You're going to end up being, instead of a 20-year-old bum, a 40-year-old bum. If you lie down with dirt, you get dirty. Did you ever hear that expression? Did everybody say anything like that to you? If you lie down in dirt, you're going to get dirty. And it sounds to me like you went from the frying pan into the fire. It's not too late. You're still a young girl. But you better start making right choices. Because if you don't make right choices, you're going to end up a 40-year-old dirty girl instead of a 20-year-old dirty girl. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
On the calendar in the matter of Overturf Crawford versus Cooper. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
What's your name, sir?
Jerry Overturf?
Is this your girlfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
She can sit down. Mr. Overturf, this is your former wife.
Yes.
You have 2 children.
That's correct.
Together. You have custody of the 2 children, pursuant to the judgment of divorce.
Yes.
How old are your children?
My son is 14 and my daughter is 16.
And how long have you been divorced?
Couple years.
How long have you and your former wife been separated?
3 years.
During that 3-year period, did your son and your daughter always reside with you?
My son has always resided with me. She took my daughter with her.
When did your daughter come to live with you?
Just about 2 years this month.
So far, is that all correct?
Samantha hasn't always resided with us. She came to us when she was 2 months old. She's an adopted daughter.
She's your daughter. Okay. Now, you have primary physical custody of the children, and your daughter was visiting with her mother. When did this visit begin?
The first part of June of this year.
Was she supposed to spend the summer?
She was going to go down there and be with her until about the 6th of July.
And your arrangement was that Mrs. Cooper, is this your husband?
Yes, ma'am.
That Mrs. Cooper would pay for her transportation back and forth for the visit.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Correct.
That was your arrangement. But something happened during the course of that visit, and Mrs. Cooper had your daughter, whose name is Samantha, arrested and taken into custody for theft.
Correct.
And you had to go to where she was to have her released to your custody. You want your former wife to pay your expenses in going down to pick up your daughter. And you also have some nonsense claim involving your girlfriend, because your girlfriend was so upset about the whole situation, it exacerbated a medical condition that she has.
That's incorrect. She already had this condition, and we'd been in to see the doctor. The doctor had said that she was having a major anxiety attack and had put her on some medication. And said
This is your girlfriend?
It's my girlfriend, yes.
Well, what I said pretty much, Mr. Overturf, was that you believe that this whole situation with your daughter exacerbated your girlfriend's medical condition. Isn't that what you're claiming?
Well,
anxiety, stress, whatever it was, and you believe that your former wife should be responsible for that.
it added to it because we were asked to stay.
Tell your girlfriend to get over it. That's not what courts are about. You have a difficult family situation, you have 2 teenage children, and if she can't deal with it, she shouldn't be involved with you. But you don't come into court and sue for that kind of nonsense. That's why I told her to sit down. She has no lawsuit, so she's out of the picture. Now, let's deal with the fact that you had to go to get your daughter out of jail. You want to tell me when and why you had your daughter incarcerated?
Yes, ma'am. She seems to be developing some bad habits, you might say. Her sophomore year, which was last school year, she was truant November to December, and the only reason I found that out was because I checked online for her attendance. So she ended up with 0 credits for her sophomore year. So
let's get to June and July, please, why you had her incarcerated.
So she come down with me, and
where do you live?
Flagstaff, Arizona.
And where do you live?
Meridian, Idaho.
And she was with me. She didn't want to do anything except lay on the couch and talk to her friends on the phone. She used up 340 minutes worth of phone time the first 2 days she was there, so I refused to buy her any more phone time. And towards the end of her visit, she got in my purse and got my ATM card out and started charging phone calls to her friends on my card. And around the 1st of July, I checked my account, and there's all these charges. I'm like, what's going on here? So I confronted her about it, and she smugly says, yeah. I was like, okay. So I called the Flagstaff Police Department and had an officer come out and told him what was going on. And he goes, do you want to arrest her or don't you? And I said, I don't think I have any other choice as a responsible parent. And so I had her arrested for misuse of a credit card.
How old was your daughter? Your daughter's 16?
16.
16. You thought you had no other choice but to have your 16-year-old daughter, who is not in your custody, arrested for using the telephone? I'm not mitigating what she did by going to your, if she in fact did it, and I believe she did it, right?
Yes.
And she went to your pocketbook, she took your credit card, she used the phone for hours and hours and hours, ran up a phone bill, didn't have your permission to do that, right?
Correct.
I still don't understand why you had her arrested.
Because it's against the law, ma'am. Tough love.
Well, Miss Cooper, sometimes tough love is appropriate when you are a consistent, constant parent, and sometimes, you know, despite your best efforts as being a hands-on, I'm there every minute of the day parent, your child strays. But if your daughter was visiting you for a month, it would seem to me that you were not terribly prudent by calling the police and responding to her use of the phone in that way. She did what teenagers do. Are these your only two children?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Bird has children, teenagers, right, Bird?
Yep.
And I've had a whole bunch of teenage children. And I'm going to tell you that they can use that phone and they can think of more schemes and scams not to get caught. I had one that used to change phone plans, you know? And she figured by the time all this works out, right, I'm going to be away in college. And she was right. I didn't call the police and have her arrested. When she's 16, does she go to an adult prison or does she go to a juvenile facility?
A juvenile facility, ma'am.
And how old are the kids who were in the juvenile facility? Up to what age?
When they turn 18, they go to the adult facility.
So, women up to the age of 18.
Yes, ma'am.
And they've committed what kind of crimes?
Any kind of crime.
Any kind of crime. Robbery, drugs. Had your daughter ever been arrested before?
No, ma'am. She's lucked out on that. She's driven without driver's license. She's smoked pot. She's done all sorts of things. And she's lucked out.
Driven without a driver's license? Smoked pot? Did you ever have any of your kids arrested?
No.
Me neither. You talk to them, you're aggravated, you don't sleep at night, you stay up when they're out. There are a lot of things that you do. You either lose weight, or you gain weight, or you start smoking, or you start drinking, or whatever it is during those teenage years. But I never would have a child arrested for what really amounts to the overuse of a telephone.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How many days did you spend in jail, Samantha?
I actually spent about 6 hours, and then I was released to an alternative home.
Have you spoken to your mother since July?
No.
She has some thinking to do.
And later today,
You did not say it was a gift.
No, I did
Right.
tell him that it was a
Right.
gift.
Absolutely right. Your conduct is outrageous. And standing there and lying is even more outrageous.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jerry Overturf says his ex-wife, Mary Jo Cooper, had their 16-year-old daughter thrown in jail for stealing. Mary Jo says she was practicing a little tough love.
Now, what do you want to say?
Well, Your Honor, I wanted to say that maybe my wife has forgotten a few things that her daughter's done, or maybe she doesn't want to mention it, such as stealing from her other family and friends. She is on a path that is not in her best interest.
And you
my wife
think, you think that a period of incarceration in a juvenile facility was going to mend her ways, sir?
I certainly do.
Now you may be seated, Mr. Cooper. Now, did you have to bail your daughter out?
No, ma'am, I did not.
You just had to sign her out.
That's correct.
If you hadn't gone to Arizona, how long would she have stayed in jail? Do you know?
No, I do not.
Okay. Samantha, your turn. Right up here. Now, why'd you take your mother's card?
I had, like she said, used a lot of minutes the first 2 days I was there.
Why?
Homesick, wanted to talk to my friends, don't know anybody.
Okay.
I had money my dad sent down with me. I offered to buy a card if she would just take me to the store. And I know it wasn't right what I did, even though I didn't have the card. I wanted her to take me to the store, that's all. And I would pay for the minutes on the card.
Okay. Did you play hooky from school most of last year?
I did.
Why?
I had some troubles with school last year.
What kind of troubles?
I didn't like the school. It was a change. I went from a small high school to over 1,000 kids in one school. It was a big change.
What did you do when you stayed home?
Slept, just lazy.
And what about your father? Did he try to convince you to get to school?
Yeah, so it was my fault. It wasn't my dad's.
What about this year?
I'm going full-time. I love my new school. I go to an alternative school. I have A's and B's.
Have you spoken to your mother since July?
No.
She has some thinking to do. I hope she has some thinking to do. Now, the day that you got there, were you able to have her released to your custody?
They were very good about it. When we got in, it was late in the evening, and they did something that they said that they normally don't do. They went ahead and woke her up. I got in at 1 o'clock in the morning. We signed an agreement, and I left my phone number, and they've been checking in on us to see how she's doing and making sure there's no problems whatsoever.
How many days did you spend in jail, Samantha?
I didn't spend any days. I actually spent only about 6 hours, and then I was released to an alternative, like, home thing.
Did you like the 6 hours in jail?
No.
Okay. Miss Cooper, you had an obligation to ensure that your daughter would be safely returned on time to his home. You chose not to do that. I think that you made the wrong judgment. I think that you didn't handle this in a way that was in your child's best interest. That's my judgment. And I come from a position of law enforcement. I think that there are certain times when you have to resort to tough love for a child when their life is at risk. But in this situation, you were angry because your daughter seemed to be embarking on a path that you thought was going to lead her to no good. That usually requires you saying to a child, listen, I want to go into some counseling with you. I've made an appointment with a therapist. I want to sit down. I want to find out what's bothering you. That should not trigger you calling the police and saying my daughter stole money from my wallet. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was a vindictive move is what she was trying to do.
I know that it was wrong that I took her credit card.
I think Samantha is basically a real good person, has a lot of potential.
She's a beautiful person. She can do it if she wants to.
Pushed her away, pushed the whole family away is what she's done.
I don't talk to her.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Graham versus Goins. Step forward, please.
Housekeeper Dorothy Graham is suing her daughter, 24-year-old homemaker Tina Goins, for the unpaid balance on a computer. Tina claims the computer was a Christmas gift.
Miss Graham, this young lady is your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that you made a loan to your daughter to enable her to buy a computer.
Yes, ma'am.
The agreement was that she would pay off the computer. It is your claim that she made some payments on the computer and then stopped, and you want her to pay the balance.
Yes, ma'am.
Your daughter says that the computer was a gift, that she did make some payments on the computer, but that was really done just to help you out when you were having some financial difficulty.
No, ma'am, that's not true.
How old are you?
24.
Are you divorced?
No, I'm not married.
You have children?
I have 2.
How old are they?
7 and 2.
Who do you live with?
My boyfriend.
Is he the father of any of these children?
He's the father of my 2-year-old.
Does he work?
Yes, he does.
What kind of work does he do?
He does construction.
Does he work all the time?
Every day.
Does he have children?
Just
other
the
than
one we have
2-year-old?
together.
That's the only child he has?
Yes.
How long have you been living on your own?
Since I was 15.
How come?
Because I moved out with my first son's father.
And you moved again?
Yes.
With your present boyfriend?
No, on my own. Me and just my son.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dorothy Graham says her daughter, Tina Goins, owes for a computer. Dorothy claims Tina started paying for it and then stopped.
Tell me about this computer.
Well, it was Christmas of 2000, and before Christmas, I had asked my mom if she would co-sign for me a computer because I was pregnant and I wanted to stay at home and do medical billing from home. Well, she said, no, I'm not going to co-sign for you. I'll buy you one for Christmas. It'll be a gift from me to you for Christmas. And I said, okay. And she didn't get the computer at Christmas because I lived in a small duplex and I was fixing to move and I didn't have room for it. So we waited until like February of March of 2003 and then we ordered the computer through Dell and she paid for it.
There came a time when you made some payments. When was the first payment that you made?
The first payment that I made was in October of 2003.
October, why did you make that?
Because she was hurt on the job and she was off of work and she didn't have the money to pay for it at that time.
Did she call you and ask you to do it?
Yes, she did.
And how much was that payment in October?
$44 a month.
How many payments of $44 did you make?
Probably about 7.
When did you stop making the payments?
In August.
Why?
Because our car broke down the day the computer payment was due, and that's all the money that I had in the bank, and we had to get our other car fixed because my boyfriend needed a way back and forth to work, and I have kids I have to take to school every day.
Okay, now let me hear you.
Well, she approached me to buy her a computer because her credit was bad, and she said if I would get it on my credit, then she would pay it off in March when she got her taxes, and she hasn't done that.
Did you have a discussion with her at that time?
Yes, I did, and at that time, she had just had my grandson, and she told me she was going to pay for it, and then she bought a new car instead when she got the money.
When did you start to make payments on the computer?
The first payment I made was in March.
And how come you made the first payment?
Because she didn't have the money to pay it.
Did you have a discussion with her about it?
I believe she gave me the money back in March, and the last 3 payments I've made, well, the last 4.
When did you ultimately confront your daughter about not making the payments on the computer?
When I was sent a done saying it hadn't been paid. Sure. This should be it. I believe that's it.
Well, this indicates in August that $128 were due, so that they were substantially behind. Did you know that they were substantially behind?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I assume that you had a discussion with your daughter when you received this.
Yes.
When was that?
That was the next day after I paid it.
And what did you tell her?
I told her if I was going to make the payments on it, then I want the computer. And I took a police officer out there and tried to get it, and she refused to give it to me.
Why did you take a police officer out to your daughter's house?
Because I know how she is. She would have fought with me. She'd have called the police on me, and I didn't want that.
So what happened when you got out there with the police?
He went up to the door and talked to her, and she refused to give it to me, told him that they were having hard times, and she planned on catching up the payments. And he told me I couldn't do anything about it unless I filed.
Ms. Goins, did you tell the police officer that you were having hard financial times?
I told him that...
Just answer my question. Did you tell the police officer that you were having hard financial times?
No, ma'am, I did not.
What did you tell the police officer?
I told him that our car had broke down and that's all the money that I had was enough to get our car fixed.
That's pretty much saying that you had some financial difficulty, right? What? So, you didn't say to the police officer, it's my computer, my mother gave it to me as a gift. What you said to the police officer was, I couldn't make the payments on it because my car broke down. The only money that I had was this $44 to have my car fixed. And therefore, I had to choose between having a car or making a payment on the computer. You did not say it was a gift.
No, I did tell him that it was a gift.
Absolutely right. That you're telling me now. You owe your mother the money for this computer. So your conduct is outrageous. And standing there and lying is even more outrageous. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,499. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All parties in the matter of Escobedo versus Dodd, step forward, please.
Administrative assistant Lisa Escobedo is suing her former friend, social worker Mary Dodd, for loans to buy a truck and to hire an attorney. Mary claims she paid Lisa back.
Miss Escobedo, you and Miss Dodd used to be very good friends.
Yes,
your lawsuit has 2 parts to it. First, you say that you took out a loan for a truck. That was her truck.
Correct.
She didn't have good credit. The arrangement was she would make the payments faithfully, and as soon as the payments were completed, the title, etc., would be turned over to her. And that was a couple of years ago.
Yes.
She did make the payments faithfully until just recently.
Correct.
And then she stopped making payments on the truck. You repossessed the truck, and now you want her to pay what is the balance owed on the truck.
Not entirely, I mean, because it's $12,000,
and it's only small claims court. But actually, that's the debt that I was left with, absolutely.
The second part of your lawsuit claims a loan to her for an attorney.
Correct.
And Ms. Dodd says with regard to that part of the loan, she does acknowledge that there was a loan. Yes, and she said that she faithfully paid you, I think, $100 a month.
Yeah, $100.
Which I assume you're going to be able to demonstrate to me.
Yes, Your Honor, I have checks.
And that the loan is paid off.
Yes.
So let's deal with the easy part first. Let's deal with the loan for an attorney. When did you make that loan?
April 2nd of 2003.
And how much was that loan?
$1,195.64.
Okay, so I want to see from you checks in the amount of $1,195.64 for the attorney.
There was actually one check that wasn't faxed to me from the bank.
Are these in order?
You know what? I think I did put them in order, but I think there's one or two missing in that pile.
Well, there are several months missing. You have $1,000 in payments.
That's pretty accurate as to what I thought I'd owed her, being that I stopped paying, the last payment was in August, and I thought we were done at that time, and nothing is said until I get served this that I still owe her. And several months goes by, and she hasn't...
Well, let me ask you this question, Ms. Dodd. Let's say on the attorney's fees alone you owe a couple of $100.
Okay.
All right? Now, let's deal with the truck. What was the total purchase price of the truck?
I don't know the exact amount. I know what's owed.
How much was the truck?
It was approximately almost $10,000.
And how much is the loan?
Your Honor, I'm just telling you, I just paid $5,000 on it, and there's still $7,000 owed. So it was not $10,000 when she bought it.
That was the purchase price, but with the interest, it makes the price. It doesn't seem like it ever goes down.
Well, why are you sticking her with that obligation?
It's not that I'm sticking her with that
obligation. Yes, you are. You are.
Back in November, when I was released from work, I made the payment in November faithfully with what was my final check. In December, well, I had found out I was pregnant and taken off permanently for work, and then I decided to go on disability. I tried to make it.
Did you buy another vehicle?
We purchased another vehicle, yes.
Who's we?
My husband and I.
Well,
But that was done...
Just a second. How could you purchase another vehicle?
That was done before all of this even happened.
You're paying on another vehicle unless you
That was my responsibility. Yes, it was. I paid on that vehicle. We purchased another vehicle because my husband has a job, and he purchased another vehicle prior to all of this happening.
Miss Dodd, that's not fair.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lisa Escobedo says former friend Mary Dodd owes for loans to buy a truck and to hire an attorney.
Now, what's not fair is you assumed another responsibility, you and your husband, knowing that you had a prior responsibility to her to pay for this older truck. What year vehicle did you purchase?
2004 Excursion.
So you purchased a brand new car, and what were your payments on the brand new car?
His payments are...
What are the payments?
His payments are $673.
What do you mean his payments? You don't live together?
Yeah, we live together. But
all right, $673. And what were your payments on this car?
$366. But I had no intention to give up the white truck. I intended to keep it, hopefully give it to my son when he finished high school. There was no intention to just say, here, I bought a new truck, I'm giving you this one back. That's not what I was going to do.
What did she say to you?
She called me the day they purchased the truck and told me she needed the account number or my social security number because they were going to trade the truck in. Then the next day she called me and said that they bought the truck anyways.
Just a second, they were going to trade the truck in.
Correct, but and then the next day she said they didn't trade it in. They purchased the truck, the Excursion, but they didn't trade it in because they only wanted to give her $4,000 on a trade-in because it's a hunk of junk now. And so they didn't want it, and they were still $12,000 owed. So they went and bought the truck anyways. Now they had, and when I asked her what she was going to do with the truck, the white truck, she said, we're going to have to make the payments on both. We don't have a choice.
And did she make payments on both the next month?
No.
I made the payment in November for that truck, and I paid the registration on that truck with the intent to keep the truck. Yeah, I did want to try to see if I could trade it in because I have a little car at home. But when they said no, well, you know, I wanted to get her name off of everything entitled with me.
Well, why didn't you do that?
They wouldn't give me what the truck was worth, and I thought, okay, I'll keep it. Why not? That's what my intention was.
So?
So I did. And I made the payment faithfully in November. I paid the registration on it.
What happened in December?
I found out at the end of November that I was not going to be returning to work, and I had no income to pay. And I even attempted to sell it, and she wouldn't let me. She said she just couldn't do that right now because it was going to be taken over by a family member she knows that's very responsible. And he would put it in his name, but to give him a couple weeks, and so she did, and I understand that. That was fine. I don't have a problem with that.
You're making a whole lot of double talk from you. Bottom line is, you didn't pay it. It's not her fault you got pregnant. It's not her fault you went on disability. It's not her fault that you and your husband decided to buy a more expensive new truck. It's not her fault. It's your fault. Stop making all of these sounds which suggests that somebody held you down when you became pregnant, that somebody held your hand to a piece of paper or his hand to a piece of paper when you bought a brand new excursion truck. It's not somebody else's responsibility. It's yours.
My intentions were to keep the truck.
You could keep it, but you didn't pay for it in December.
Well, that's when everything took a turn. I was intending
Just a
to go back
second,
to
what
work.
kind of turn?
I was intending to go back to work. In the end of January, I lost my baby, and a week later, I lost my mother. I wasn't ready to go back to work.
Is there just a second? Is it her fault you lost your baby?
No, it's not.
Is it her fault you lost
No,
your
it's
mother?
not. But I can't.
Then why didn't you pay for the truck?
Happened.
Did you pay for the excursion?
He pays for his excursion.
You do live together, don't you?
Yeah, but he is entitled to own a vehicle as well.
She don't want to be a friend anymore.
Exactly.
It's a
I don't
very
mean to be
good.
her
It's a
friend.
very good
It's
thing
exactly what
because
she said to me.
because she lacks reasonable moral fiber.
You're absolutely right, Your Honor.
She lacks a sense of duty and responsibility and what's right and what's wrong. Get out your address book. Erase her name.
Please do.
Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Miss Bausch, this young man is your son. How old are you?
24.
According to what I read in your complaint, he was a little bit of trouble growing up, but then according to you, seemed to, in the last couple of years, straightened up.
Right.
Got a job. He was living on his own, taking care of his own bills. When he came to you and asked if he could borrow some money for a car, you decided that since he seemed to be doing the right thing, you would lend him the money.
Right.
When did he call you and ask you if you could lend him some money?
12th of October is when I took out the loan. He called, asked if I would help him.
What did he say?
Mom, my girlfriend's dad came and got the truck I had. I don't have a vehicle to get to work. Would you please help me get a car? For the first time, I said yes, even when my husband said no.
Mom, would you help me get a car? So what did you do?
I told him I would call the bank, get a loan. I went down, picked him up, took him down to the car lot, wrote a check for $2,000.
And?
He took the car, title went in his name, and now he doesn't want to pay the payments. And
Well,
I've been making them.
Talk to me about the payments. So far, I haven't heard anything about him agreeing for the payments.
I told him I would borrow him $2,000. You pay me back at $250 a month for 8 months, and it would be paid.
And what did he say?
I will. He agreed to pay the money
Where was
back.
he working at the time?
He works putting in fireplaces.
You work for a company?
Yes.
You get paid by the week?
Yes.
What do you get paid?
Approximately $400 a week.
Is that what you take home?
Yes.
So it wouldn't have been any trouble to pay back the $250 a month.
It wouldn't have been any trouble if that was the case.
Okay. Is this your girlfriend?
Yes.
Her father had allowed you to use one of his vehicles?
He co-signed for a loan on a pickup, and we split up. And he took the pickup.
Who split
from
up? You?
Me and Kara.
Whose name was the truck in?
Mine and her dad's. He was first signer on the title, so he had the right to take it from me whenever he wanted.
Well, had you been making the payments on it?
Yes.
All the payments?
Yes.
Even after you broke up?
No. Once he took the truck from me, I quit making payments.
But before that, you were making the payments?
Yes.
Are you back together again with the girlfriend?
Yes.
What about the truck?
I still don't have it.
Do you talk to the father?
No.
Do you talk to your father?
Yes.
Why did he take the truck back?
There was the full...
Tell me your name.
Kara Nelson.
Why did your father take the truck back?
There was a lien on the truck, so there was supposed to be full coverage insurance on it, and it got dropped to liability.
Who dropped it?
I did.
Why?
I didn't figure I needed it.
Well, if there's a lien on it, then you have to have it.
I didn't know. I'd never had a vehicle in my name before that had a lien on it.
Well, did somebody discuss it with you after you said you dropped it?
No. He just came and took it after I dropped it. No one said nothing.
Mm-hmm. And how long had you had the truck?
Approximately 5-6 months.
And what prompted you, after 6 months, to drop the expensive part of the coverage?
Because it was expensive. It was a little more than I could afford.
And you didn't discuss that with anybody?
No.
Don't you think you should have?
Yes.
So that was a mistake.
Yes.
So now you understand why he took the truck back, because he
Yes.
did something that was irresponsible.
Yes.
Now, you called your mother, and what did you say to her?
I explained to her that my truck had been taken, and she volunteered to help me buy a car. So
Well, what did she say to you?
I'll give you $2,000. That's all I can afford.
I didn't say I...
And I went. I found a car for $2,600. I paid $600. She paid a check for $2,000, and I got my car.
Okay. Now, when for the first time did your mother call you and ask you to make a payment?
I never got a phone call from her afterwards. Next thing I knew, I had court papers delivered to my house.
Well, this was in October that she gave you the money.
Yes.
And when did you have the court papers delivered?
It was approximately a month later.
In November?
Yeah.
And what did you do when you got the papers? You called her and said, what's this all about, Mom?
No, it's... My parents have never been there, so I figured this...
After she gave you the money, October 12th, and you went down and got the car, did you call her the next day, the next week, 2 weeks later?
No.
Why
I haven't
not?
talked to her. We just don't talk. We haven't talked since...
Well, it was easy for you to call her up, Mr. Schmidt, and ask her for money.
Yes. I just figured that was the least she could do for me.
According to your complaint, you have a witness.
Yes, I do. My daughter, Tricia.
With whom your son had a conversation. You're Tricia?
Yes.
I'd like to hear what you have to say.
He told my mom that, or he told me.
I don't want to hear what he told your mom. Only what he told
me
you.
that he wasn't going to pay her because she's never done anything for her, and that when he
Let's
took
go
her-
back a second. After your mother gave him the money, and I assume after he got served with the papers for court, you had a conversation with him.
Yes.
Did you keep in regular touch with your brother?
Yeah, I always talk to my brother.
Well, what did he say to you when he got the papers?
He said, "Mom served me. Mom's suing me."
And you said to him?
She has the right to.
And he said to you?
If she takes me to court, I'm going to tell her that it was a gift and they can't take a gift away.
Did he say why he was going to do it?
Because she never done anything for him.
And what did you say to him when he said to you, well, she never did anything for me?
I said, "That's your own business."
Is that the whole conversation?
For that one, yeah.
After that conversation, did you have other conversations with your brother?
Yes, I have.
So you're on good terms with him?
Yes.
You like him?
Yeah. He's family.
You call him, he calls you.
Yes.
He just doesn't call your mother.
No.
He's angry with her.
Yes. He's always been angry with her.
Do you know why?
Because she sent him away.
You know why she sent him away?
Because he always got into trouble with the police.
Do you speak to your mother?
Yes.
So you were on good terms with your mother and your brother?
Yes.
Good for you. Good for you. Thank you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I want you to go like this to yourself. Pinch it hard. Are you alive?
Yeah.
That she gave you.
And later today,
I stuck my hand in the bag and I was poked by a needle. The next day, I had red lines going up to my armpit. My mom came over. She said, "You have to go to the hospital." She said, "It looks like you have a blood infection."
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Donna Fouch says her son, Michael Schmidt, owes for a loan to buy a car. Donna claims Michael has a troubled past.
Think of any reason why your sister would make up a story like that?
No. I talked to my sister that one time after I got served with the court papers.
And you said something like, "That's the least she could do for me. She never done anything for me before."
I did say that, but there was no agreement between me and my mom to pay the money back.
What does your mother do for a living?
She works at Winnebago.
What do you do there?
I lay basement carpet.
How much do you earn a week?
I come home with $326.
A week?
A week.
Just you and your husband are at home?
Yes.
Just you and your girlfriend, I assume?
No.
Who else?
It's me and my roommate.
You have a roommate?
We don't live together.
Oh, great. So you have a roommate who
Yes.
pays half the rent?
Yes.
Well, it sounds to me like you're in much better shape financially than your mother.
No. My dad makes a lot of money, too, who also helps pay with her bills.
But she lives with your father, or is this your stepfather?
Stepfather.
He's not responsible for you,
No.
right?
Right.
This is what I don't understand, sir. You would have me believe that without trying to contact you at all, your mother gave you this $2,000 and then went to court and sued you. You would have me believe that she didn't, as she says she did, try to call you several times and you wouldn't take her call, right?
Right.
You see, that makes sense. That's common sense. That has a smack of reality to it, that she gave you this money. She said it has to be paid back because it's a home equity loan. Otherwise, it comes out of the equity in my home, so I have to pay it back. And I'll let you know when the first payment is due. She called you, and all of a sudden you didn't want to talk to her anymore. And you didn't talk to her for a month. And then she said, I have no choice. I'm going to sue him because not only won't he take my calls to even talk about it, but he's so disrespectful to me at this time after he called me for my help, and I was there for him to help him.
For the first time ever?
Let me ask you a question, sir. I want you to go like this to yourself. Go like this. Go like this. Pinch it hard. Pinch it really hard. Are you alive?
Yeah.
That she gave you. Parents aren't perfect, and children aren't perfect. Sounds to me as if your mother has a reasonable relationship with your sibling. So what you're suggesting to me is she was a good mother to one child and not a good mother to the other. Is that what you're suggesting?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, is there any particular reason for that you might think? Maybe you were a more difficult child. You think that's possible? The same
It's
child
possible.
that canceled the insurance on a truck when somebody else was responsible for it?
Yes.
Got my drift? After a while, you start having to take responsibility for your own actions, sir. And you're 24 years old. The time is now. And if you, as an adult, say, listen, my mother wasn't a good mother to me, and I've made a choice that I don't want to have anything to do with her. You're entitled as an adult to do that. It's foolish, but you're entitled as an adult to do that. But what you did was you called her and said, I need money. You owe her the money. Pay her the money. It's the right thing to do. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
My mom gets her money. I'm just glad it's over with.
He needs to learn that he needs to pay his bills.
My mom was given an ultimatum when I was 12. My stepdad or me. She choose him.
I guess he'll think what he wants to think.
It's over with.
If he doesn't want to talk to me, that's his choice.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Asplund versus Mays, step forward.
Bus driver Goldie Asplund is suing antique dealer Brian Mays for medical bills resulting from his negligence. Goldie claims she developed a staph infection after she pricked her finger with a pin.
Miss Asplund, it is your claim that the defendant sold you something, and as a result of him selling you something, which you will describe to me, you stuck your finger and got an infection. You want him to pay you $5,000 for your medical bills and all your pain and suffering, etc.
Yes.
Mr. Mays thinks that you're just a scam artist.
That's right.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Reading between the lines. So what did you buy from Mr. Mays? Where did you buy it? When did you buy it? And what happened to you?
February 28th, 2004. Excuse me. I went to the Danish American Center with my mom in South Minneapolis. There was an antique sale going on. We entered the hall where the sale was. There were all kinds of tables set up with all kinds of odds and ends. There was a big round table of loose jewelry. Some was bagged, and I found a bag of jewelry beads.
Of jewelry beads? How did you know that they were beads?
It said broken pieces on it.
The bag said broken pieces?
Broken pieces on tape, yes.
Was this in a clear bag? Was it in
a clear bag?
It was in a clear bag. What were you going to do with broken pieces of jewelry?
Arts and crafts. I have 3 kids, and we do little hobbies.
So you could see what was inside?
For the most part.
Okay, so go ahead.
I get home, I sat down at my coffee table with my children, and I stuck my hand in the bag, and I was poked by a needle. I got up, and I went upstairs, and I washed my hand. My thumb was bleeding a little bit. And I went downstairs, and I grabbed this big crystal ashtray that I have. I took the bag, and I emptied it out. And there were 5 loose needles in there, in this bag of beads where there should not have been needles. As the day progressed, I'd thrown them out too. I didn't want my kids messing with them, so I threw it out. As the day progressed, that night I had a blood blister where I was poked by the jewelry, or by the needle. And the next day I woke up with flu-like symptoms, sweating. I felt like nauseous, like I was gonna throw up. And I had red lines going up to my armpit. I wasn't going to go to the hospital because I don't have medical. My mom came over. She said, you have to go to the hospital. My thumb was totally swollen up and the red lines. She said, it looks like you have a blood infection. I went to the hospital. They took me straight back into the emergency room, started an IV, and when they got the IV going after a couple hours, they brought me up to the hospital, gave me a hospital bed.
Okay, so you stayed in the hospital for a day and a half according to your complaint. Is that right?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Goldie Asplin says antique dealer Brian Mays owes for her medical bills resulting from his negligence. Brian says Goldie is trying to scam money.
Now, tell me what happened.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have been in the antique business for 35 years. I have a very reputable name in the antique business. On February 27th, 28th, 29th of 2004, I conducted a sale at the Danish Center, and I had several tables in the center of the room. There were several bags, maybe a half a dozen bags, with possibly maybe 6-8 earrings.
I got it.
And other things. But everything else was single items in bags. I had no broken jewelry there. She had called me up on March 15th, and she called me up and said, "Did you have the sale?" And I said, "I did." She said, "Do you have insurance?" And I said, "Why do you ask?" And she said that she had come to my sale, and she was going through the loose jewelry on the card table, poked her finger with a brooch, gone home, got blood infection, ended up in the hospital, almost died, and the doctor said that I should have to pay her $4,000 medical bills.
Okay, so she told you that she was going through the loose jewelry on the table
tables,
and
which have a
poked her finger.
photograph, right?
Okay.
And then I said, "No, I don't." She said, "Okay, goodbye." And in October, I received papers from Hennepin County Court, and she had changed her story. And come to find out, after I had talked with her on March 15th, I called up my cashier and I said, "Do you believe that this woman is doing this to me?" And she said, "Well, you know what? I worked a sale for another fellow, his name is Steve, and she tried doing the same thing for him. She tried suing him, and after she couldn't sue him, she came after me."
Step up. What is your name, sir?
Steve O'Hearn.
Did you try to sue Mr. O'Hearn?
Can I
The answer is
explain
either
what
yes or no.
No.
Tell me what you know, Mr. O'Hearn.
She called me approximately March 12th, stated she had been to my sale and bought a bag of jewelry, went home, stuck her hand in the bag of jewelry. There was a brooch in there.
Okay.
And
Not a needle.
Not a needle.
Okay.
I didn't hear needle till today, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
She told me she pricked her finger, got blood poisoning, and wanted me to pay the bill. I said, "You're probably going to run me into financial ruin." I said, "First thing you need to do is get your receipts so I can see what estate it exactly was from." She called me back about a half hour later, stated to me that she had her receipt, and told me if I'm going to go bankrupt or financial ruins, that she would, there's no sense in her suing.
So how did you get to Mr. Mays?
Through the Danish American Center's log that they had. Whoever rented the hall, they had a log of the name and number. The guy that took down the information, I gave him February 28th, and he was looking at a date before that. The wrong dates. That's why he gave me Mr. O'Hearn's name and number. And Mr. O'Hearn freaked out on me, started cussing me out and stuff. You know, I apologized to him for getting his undies in a bunch. I didn't mean to do that, and he kept hanging up on me. And so I called Brian Mays back and found out, you know, he was the right one on the date, February 28th. He was the one that rented the hall. So I called him, and I told him what happened, and I asked him if he had liability insurance, because
He doesn't need liability insurance. He should have been more careful.
There shouldn't have been needles in a jewelry bag.
I don't believe there were any needles in there. I don't believe there were needles in there. I believe you may have stuck yourself on a pin. That was part of a piece of jewelry, and you're making up a better story.
No, I wouldn't come.
Oh, yes, you did.
No, I
yes,
don't
you
think
did.
so.
Oh, yes, you did. Because anybody that buys a bag of loose, broken jewelry, even if it's in a plastic bag, would take it and dump it, as you ultimately did in an ashtray. So if you, in fact, you stuck yourself on a broken piece of jewelry, not a needle. And that's what you purchased, and you should have been more careful. And don't blame anybody but yourself. You have to be careful and accept responsibility for what you do, madam. Not everything is a lawsuit. If you buy a bag that says broken pieces of jewelry, you're supposed to be more careful. Your case is dismissed, that's all.
Matter of McClenathan versus Connell. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
What's your first name?
Amanda.
How old are you, Amanda?
19.
How long have you been living on your own?
Since January.
You go to school or you work?
I go to school and work.
What school do you go to?
Eastern Connecticut State University.
And what about you? How old are you?
20.
You go to school also?
Yes.
Same school?
No.
What school?
Three Rivers Community College.
How long have you known each other?
Since freshman year of high school.
According to the complaint, you girls decided to live together with one boy or two boys?
It was just one to begin with.
Which boy? Raise your right hand. Had to think about that for a minute.
Yep.
You are John.
Yep.
John with the paintball gun.
Yeah.
And I gather that after you moved in, you're going to tell me when things didn't work out. And according to your complaint, the defendant moved out owing you some money. Owed you money for rent and a deposit. She says that she owes you a little bit for rent, right?
Mostly
That's
for...
not what you said here. You said you owed her a little bit for rent. Not as much as she wants, but that you have a counterclaim because you claim that she has some of your property and she assaulted you.
She threw a soda bottle at me.
Just say yes or no.
Yes.
I'm going to get to your story in a sec. When did you sign your lease?
A little bit before January 1st when we moved in.
And what was the rent?
$1,200 a month.
Who was helping you pay your rent?
I work 3 jobs and go to school, so I pay my own rent.
That's pretty good. And what about John with the paintball gun?
He works full-time. He's a workaholic. He works all the time.
Good. You're supposed to split the rent 3 ways.
Yes.
You say that Miss Connell had trouble coming up with rent and deposit.
Yes.
Go ahead, let me hear.
Okay. When we first moved in, we each had to pay $647.50 for the first month's rent, deposit, all that. And she could only come up with $300, so I covered her. It was $347.50. And since I handle all the bills, everything's in my name, I request that all the rent is made by January 20th so I can send it out for February 1st. On January 20th, Alyssa still didn't have any money because she was suspended from work. So I covered her then too. So I sent the rent out on January 20th and it would have been $400.
So you covered her for that money?
Yes.
So far she owes you $747.50. Is that right?
Yes.
Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
Go ahead.
So then it was January 29th. I was babysitting for a family friend, and my little brother was at the house, but she wanted to have a party. And I said, that's fine, just keep it downstairs, keep it in the basement, because I have little kids here. And I don't want them seeing all that, because they were partying pretty hard. And then she kept bringing people upstairs, even though I asked her not to. So we locked the door so that people that were coming there, we were all pretty drunk, were just like banging on the door, and we were like, we wouldn't let them upstairs. So one of them threatened John, and that's when John shot the paintball gun out in the yard. And Alyssa was really mad. She came upstairs and she started screaming at him. She was really, really drunk. So she was like yelling at him, and then started yelling at me, and she ran at me like a chimpanzee. And obviously I knew she was really drunk and I wasn't going to sit there and fight with her, so I just let her. She left. She took her bottle of Captain and she left. Then on the 3rd of February, she called John and said, because we weren't letting her party there anymore, that it wasn't fun living there anymore and she didn't want to live there, so she was moving out. On the 5th, she came back, took her bed and most of her belongings. On the 7th of February, the room smelled disgusting, so I finally went in there. Well, actually, James went in there and trying to find what smelled, and found 2 bags of rotten frozen meatballs. That was the smell. It smelled revolting.
Is that right, James?
Yes.
And what were you doing with meatballs in your room?
I don't think they were mine, so I don't know what she's talking about. I wouldn't have meatballs in my room.
Maybe one of your friends brought the meatballs.
Nobody was in my room that night.
What kind of a party were you having?
Actually, to set the story straight, it wasn't my party. We had been having parties every Saturday except for the 22nd because it snowed that day. Then on the 29th, we had people calling us saying, hey, we heard you're having a party.
Who were they calling?
Mine and Amanda's cell phones. And actually,
anybody call your cell phone?
I'm sure people did.
Did you tell them that you were having a party?
No.
Yes, she did.
No, I did not. I never said that we were having a party.
Were you downstairs partying with your friends?
I was down there for a little bit, but I kept coming upstairs because I didn't even know half the people. Her friends were down there also, though.
Did she have small children upstairs?
Yes, she did.
So then I gather she did not go downstairs.
She was downstairs for a little bit.
I was not.
No, I don't believe that. What happened to the rent? $747.50.
When we first moved in, it was one of those things where we had to come up with money because the guy wanted us to sign the lease. Because he
of course, that's what happened.
Yes, he was going back to Maryland. So I got money from my mother. She wrote me a $200 check, and then we said the rest of it would come up with along the way. So she covered some of it. She covered $135 of mine. And
well, she says she covered $347.50.
John gave $1,000.
I'm asking you about your money. I'm not interested in anybody else. She said she covered $347.50 for you. Is that correct?
No.
How much did she cover for you?
I'm not sure of these. I want to say $135 she covered of mine because she was also paying for James to move in.
I'm talking about your money. Show me proof that you gave her $647.50, please.
I didn't give her all of it. I
close to it. Around January. Can I have that, please? Around January of 2005. This is December 20th, 2004. Check made out to you for $200 that you cashed.
Yes.
What's that for?
That her mother paid $200 of her. So out of the $300 that she paid, her mother paid $200 of it, and her mom made the check out to me.
So she owes.
So she did give $300, but she owed $647.50.
$647.50, leaving $347.50. Do you understand?
She didn't put in all the money, though. John put in some of it.
I don't care who put it in. She'll give it back to John.
Okay.
You owed the money. You didn't
in
pay
general,
for it.
yes. In general, I owe the money.
$347.50. Okay. January.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She had become very temperamental. She threatened me with retaliation. She threw a soda bottle at me.
Did she hit you with it?
Yes.
And later today,
You didn't think that coming here was going to be a picnic, did you, Mr. Collins?
No, ma'am, I did not.
I'm not known as picnic lady.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Amanda McClenathan says ex-roommate Alyssa Connell owes for rent and a security deposit. Alyssa claims Amanda assaulted her with a can of soda.
Now, when did you move out in February?
On February 4th, I packed up some of my belongings. I was not planning to move out. She assumed I was.
I don't care. You were there in February.
Until the 4th.
Then you owe the rent for February.
The reason I moved out, though, was because initially I called up the landlord and I had called the police also because she had become very temperamental. She wrote on my door with a permanent marker. She threatened me with retaliation. And so I was calling the police, talking to them what I should do about this because I don't feel safe living with her. She's going to be throwing things at me, threatening me. I have a brand new car and I don't want anything happening to it because she's the type of person who will egg a person's car if she doesn't like them.
Well, let me ask you this question, Ms. Connell. When did she do this to you, these things?
On February 2nd, which was a Wednesday, she threw a soda bottle at me.
That's the assault you're talking about?
Yes.
And she wasn't a bottle. According to your answer,
can.
it was a can.
A can or a bottle.
Did she hit you with it?
Yes.
Where?
In the leg.
Did you go to a doctor?
No.
Why not?
Because it was just like a bruise or something that it left.
What do you mean, just like a bruise or something?
It was just a bruise that it left.
Do you have a photograph of it?
I had a camera that had pictures on it of all the damages that she did to the house, the 2 doors
I'm
that she
not
broke.
interested in the house. I asked you about your leg.
Well, there was pictures on it, but she stole it out of my room.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Let's move on from the assault. February 2nd, you had this altercation.
Yes.
You moved out some stuff on February 4th.
Yes.
Had you paid February's rent on the 20th of January?
Not yet.
Why not?
Because, she said, I was suspended from work, which was a whole sexual harassment retaliation type thing that we're
You
going
owed
through.
the money.
Yes, I know.
Well, you should have paid her. So far, that's $747.50, which is exactly what she's suing for, which is what you owe her. Now let's get to your counterclaim, okay? Because I've just taken care of the assault. It's not nice if you threw a soda can at her. Value of personal property and damages. What personal property does she have of yours?
Do you want the list, or do you want me to just read it to you?
Read it to me.
Okay. I left 2 washers and a dryer.
That's a big item, washer and dryer.
She did leave those items. I have pictures of all the items that she left at the house that I took a couple days before I left for court. She just left them at the house. No one ever took them from her.
Fine, so you don't have a problem returning them?
No. She can come get them whenever she wants.
Okay. I have a sofa. 2 sofas or one?
Yes, there's 2 sofas.
2 sofas.
A chair,
a washing
washers and a
machine,
dryer.
a dryer, a chair.
Oh, she also left another chair and a punching bag.
Okay. You arranged for a truck in 5 days, madam? Go and pick up your stuff.
Yes. The fact of the matter is, though, is that I lost of sale on the washer and dryer because I could have sold it, and I had told John that I was going to come pick him up.
I don't care. 5 days from today, you go and pick up your stuff. Anything else?
Yes. 2 CDs, 5 belts, a black ruffled skirt, white dress pants, and my coat was damaged in the stuff that she packed up.
Do you have any of her property? Listen to me very carefully, madam. You owe her $747 and 5 days from today.
She changed the lock,
And 5 days from today, she had every right to. You hadn't paid rent. It's not her problem that you got laid off from work. Get another job.
I had the job still.
Perfect. Then you should have paid rent. 5 days from today, is this your mother?
Yes.
Your mother, whoever else you want to, is going to go pick up your property that you left behind when you moved out. Your white dress with the ruffled feathers you should have taken with you when you moved. Thank you very much. This case is over.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I can't help the fact that Amanda's a compulsive liar and she likes to throw things at people.
I think it's hilarious that she said I assaulted her because I threw a cup of soda. I was 5 feet away from her. I threw a cup of soda on the floor and it splashed her.
She broke 2 doors in the house one night when she was drunk.
She's very immature, obviously.
Pick your friends a little better.
If she can't pay the rent in the beginning, don't get into a lease with her. She's not going to pay it all along.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Brooks versus Collins. Step forward, please.
21-year-old warehouse worker John David Brooks is suing his former friend, 24-year-old service repairman Eric Collins, for wrecking his quad runner.
Mr. Brooks, you are the owner of an off-road vehicle. Mr. Collins was an acquaintance of yours. It is your claim that he rode your off-road vehicle without your permission and wrecked it. Mr. Collins acknowledges that he rode the vehicle, but he says the brakes were defective and he injured himself. He has medical bills. He is going to take his lawsuit against you to the Supreme Court, where he can sue you for a lot more money. That's what your answer is. Is that right?
Correct.
Good. Do you have a lawyer?
No, I don't.
When did this happen?
September the 28th, 2004.
What are you waiting for?
To pay my lawyer some more money.
Mr. Collins, you don't see stupid written across here, do you?
No, ma'am, I don't.
The kind of suit you are alleging is a suit in negligence. Lawyers do not accept money up front for that. What they do is they work on a contingency, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have a lawyer that's charging you a fee?
Of course.
What is this lawyer's name?
I'd rather not say.
I'd rather you would.
Gerald.
How much have you paid him so far?
Not pertaining to this case here.
This case here, Mr. Collins.
Which I did not put a counterclaim against him. He put one against me.
What part of the English language don't you understand, Mr. Collins? I asked you, how much money did you pay your lawyer so far?
I have not paid him a dime pertaining to this case.
Correct. I assume he's represented you with regard to other matters in the past, Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Collins? How old are you, sir?
24.
What kind of matters has he represented you on, Mr. Collins? Is not an answer.
Just minor charges.
Criminal matters.
No.
What are you looking
no
at him
criminal
for?
matters.
What are you looking at him for? You didn't think that coming here was going to be a picnic, did you, Mr. Collins?
No, ma'am, I did not.
I'm not known as the picnic lady.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
When you do something wrong, you're supposed to take responsibility for it.
Of
then
course.
you can put a period and move on with your life and be a productive citizen.
Yes, ma'am.
As opposed to making excuses for why you do not accept responsibility and trying to give me a lot of who shot John. What is an off-road vehicle? Is not an answer.
The ATV, all-terrain vehicle.
That is a vehicle that is to be ridden off the
street.
Now, you allowed someone else to borrow your all-terrain vehicle. Who was that? Raise your hand.
Right Jason.
Here. That would be you.
Yeah. Yes.
You borrowed Mr. Brooks's all-terrain vehicle because you were going duck
to a dove shoot?
Dove shoot.
Yes, ma'am.
Did they ever do anything to you?
No.
And Mr. Brooks allowed you to take the ATV. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you brought it back, and it was in good condition.
Yes, ma'am.
And then what did you do with it?
I didn't do anything. I brought it back to my house, and David was supposed to come back and pick it
David.
up. Yes, ma'am.
David was supposed to come back and pick it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
He came by that night that Eric wrecked it. He had a trailer.
Just a second.
Oh.
You ran by that very quickly. He came by that night and you said, Eric, that would be him.
That's correct.
He wrecked it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how did he get his hands on it?
Well, it was left at the house that we were renting.
You left it at the house. You borrowed it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you leave it?
In the garage.
Was he at your house, Mr. Collins?
Yeah, well, he was living there at the time.
Did he ask you if he could use it?
No, ma'am.
So he took it without permission. Right, Mr. Collins?
Right.
And what happened when you took it without permission, Mr. Collins?
Well, took it around the block.
Why looking at me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
We took it around the block.
Not we. You.
I took it around the block. Brakes failed. Hit a brick wall. Woke up in the middle of the road with a crushed hand, dislocated knee, and a concussion.
It's a good thing that this is a G-rated show. Otherwise, I would say something like, something happens. You take things without permission, sir. So I would suggest you save your money for your lawyer because you have no case.
Okay.
It would be like you saying, you know, I saw that Rolls Royce just sitting in the middle of the road. And I've never gotten behind the wheel of a Rolls Royce before. So the door was open, and I got in, and the key was on the floor mat. So I took the key and I started it and took it for a ride, and the brakes failed, and I wrapped up the car, and I was hurt. And then you turn around and sue the owner of this old Rolls Royce. because the brakes were bad. What do you think about that?
Well, what could I say?
What could I say, sir? You took Mr. Brooks's property without permission and you wrecked it.
Yes,
when
ma'am.
you wreck it, you pay for it. Does that sound right to you?
Well, yes, ma'am.
Now he's got the drill. See how easy that was?
Like a bird's nest on the ground.
May I see a photograph of your ATV, sir? Did you get this fixed?
No, ma'am, I totaled it out there. I had the estimate, and I could have bought a new one for as much as it would have cost for the parts.
Well, how much did you pay for this one?
I paid $1,800 for it.
When?
I believe it was January last year. After that, I probably put about $600 into it, a new exhaust, tires.
You're suing him for $1,680. How come?
That's about what the worth of it was at the time.
Mr. Collins?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm coming back to you for a moment, sir. You got on the all-terrain vehicle and you took it out of the garage.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I didn't.
Sorry about that.
You took it out of the garage.
That's correct.
And you were going to just take it for a spin around the street?
Yes, ma'am.
This was on a street, right?
Actually, it was a boulevard, but, you know,
It was a boulevard
same thing.
where the ATV was not supposed to be ridden, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's supposed to be ridden on all terrain except city streets, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So aside from taking it without permission, you were breaking the law.
Yes, ma'am.
How far did you get with it?
Not very far.
Well, how far?
Quarter of a mile.
Sir, that's the most expensive quarter-of-a-mile ride you will probably ever have. It's going to cost you $1,680. Judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you very much.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Mr. Lee, the defendant was your girlfriend for a while, and you claimed some loans to her for car repairs. And in addition to the loan for car repairs, you say that you loaned her a car of yours, and she refuses to return it.
Yes, Your Honor.
You want the car back.
Yes.
The defendant says that you fixed her car because you always insisted on making sure that her car was in running order. There was never any discussion of her paying you back for fixing her car. And that you, in fact, gave her this car. And she is counterclaiming because she says that after she broke up with you, you broke up with him?
He broke up with me. And also...
Just a second. That you came to the house, to her house, and you disabled her car, which you claim is your car. And she wants the money that she had to spend or will have to spend to put it back into running condition. So how long was this lovely relationship that you enjoyed, Mr. Lee?
Year and a half. But I think we broke up like 3-4 times in between.
The natural course of events, Mr. Lee. When did you loan her this car?
First of all, she had her own car, and this car was keep on breaking down. She had no money, so that's what I do. I fix car. That's, you know, my side job. So she has her car. She's always breaking down. Sometimes she helps me pick up my daughter. She has a daughter on her own, and this car is like unsafe. So I keep on spending money on it. I spent $500 one time because her water pump went out, so we did the timing belt, everything. I had the receipt. Then maybe like a month later, her alternator goes out. I fixed it. She said she's going to pay me the money. I said, I spent $500 on your car. Well, I'm going to go to my mom and get some money. I'll pay you back. She goes to her mother's house, come back with $40. Here's $40. I'm like, I spent $500 for... You know, she had no job, so I told her, when you get a job, pay me.
Did you live together?
No.
So she was doing you a favor?
Well, one night I told her, you spend the night.
Just a second. That doesn't answer my question, Mr. Lee. Uncross your hand. She was doing you a favor by picking up your daughter.
Yes.
And you didn't want your daughter to drive in a car that was unsafe, I assume.
Yes. And plus,
Is that right?
she had no job. I was paying her rent.
And
I
you
was
were-
supporting her.
Just a second. You were paying her rent where she was living. How much was her rent every month?
$500 a month.
And how many times did you pay her rent?
I think I paid 3 times.
When?
2004.
When in 2004? Before or after you loaned her money to fix her car?
After. No, right around that time. June, May, I think it was August, I don't know.
All right. May, June, August, certainly after March, after you loaned her money to fix her car.
Yes.
And did she promise to pay you back the rent money too?
No, because she was helping me picking up my daughter, so she had no job, so I was helping her out on that. Is there something?
Shh. Shh. Are you working now?
Yes. Or no, not anymore. I just lost my job last week.
That's what I'm asking you. Are you working now?
No.
Is my question.
I'm not.
Well, your arrangement with her was that she would pay you back when she got a job. She's not working.
She never worked. I got her that job.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you, sir? Even if I believe you that they were loans, and I'm not so sure that they were loans, because you and the defendant had an intimate relationship, you were paying her rent, you were supporting her, and I cannot imagine that there was an expectation that she was supposed to pay you back the few $100s that you were spending to fix her car, especially since that was your business to fix cars. Now, let's get to this car that you say belongs to you, that you merely loaned to her. Tell me about that. When did you loan her your car, and what kind of car did you loan to her?
It's a 92 Acura Integra.
And when did she take possession of it?
June.
And tell me about how she took possession of the car.
She didn't take possession. She had a car, her car, always breaking down, that she had no money to fix, that I was fixing all the time. She said she'd pay me back, but she had no job, so she couldn't pay me back.
That's right. So we're not taking care of that. That took care of the loan.
So I bought this car because it was a good deal. I fixed it up. I was going to sell it. But since her car's always breaking down, I told her, here, why don't you drive this for a while? But the tranny is not so good, so in 2 years, I want to sell it before the tranny goes out.
Just a second. So here's this 1992 car. You can use it. But in 2 years, you have to give it back to me because the transmission's going to go out, and I want to sell it before the transmission goes out. Is that what he just said to me?
That's what he just said to me.
All right. So you gave her the car. Did you also give her the title to the car?
No, because she crashed her car with my daughter in it. Her driving is not good, so I don't want to be, I'll lend it to her, but I don't want to be reliable. So I bought the car. Registration, I pay for it. Insurance.
Just a second. I'm asking you a question, and you're going to give me an answer.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
There's a 16-year age difference between the two of you. If the worst she did to you was take advantage of you for a 1992 car, I suggest to you, Mr. Lee, get over it.
And later today,
some choice words were thrown back and forth.
You told her, leave.
I asked her politely to leave.
No, you didn't ask her politely. Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining, sir.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Young Lee says ex-girlfriend Kristen Beck owes for a loan to fix her car. Young also claims Kristen won't return his car.
Was the car registered in her name?
Yes. But the pink slip...
And the car is titled in her name?
Yes. But she signed it. I have the pink slip. She signed it over to me.
Show me everything.
Show you what?
Show me the pink slip where she signed it over to you.
You're not letting me finish my story.
I'm asking you questions, Mr. Lee.
I had the pink slip. She wanted to see the pink slip. So I gave it to, well, I didn't give it to her. I went over to her house, gave the land, she wasn't there, so I gave it to landlord. You know what, every time we're breaking up, she comes back saying sorry. I think it's for the car she's coming back. Because every time we've broken up, she gave me the car back. 3 times I took the car back, okay? But she always come back, sorry, sorry, and she wants the car back. So I'm thinking, this relationship is all about the car. That's what... It is about the car because she sold her car.
You may be right. You may be right.
She sold her car for $1,000. I told her that she's trying to give me $500. The car that she sold it for $1,000. $500. She's trying to give it to me.
Did you take the $500?
No.
Well, why didn't you take the $500? Because according to you, she owed you a lot more money from the car repairs.
Because I don't know what she was giving me that $500 for. I said, what's this $500? Is this the money that you owe me from the car and all the money that I spent, you know, like rent, everything? She said, no, this money is, I sold my car, so I'm giving you $500 because you bought me a car. I'm like, wait a minute. I told you this the second time. I didn't give you that car. I lent it to you.
You did.
I did.
You did.
Because I have the pink slip.
She has the registration. Car's registered.
She has the
in her
registration,
name?
but I have the pink slip.
Is the car registered in your name?
Yes, it is.
Do you have registration for the car?
You know, I have the registration.
Can I see it, please?
It's been under my name ever since the beginning, and he never.
Let me just see it. Mr. Lee, you should have taken the $500, sir.
Your Honor?
Should have taken the $500.
500.
June 10th, 2004, the car was registered in her name.
It was never in my name. It was the person that I bought it. It was his name. I never even put it in my name because I'm still working on it. After I'm done with it, I was going to sell it, but I lent it to her. So I told her, put it in your name, but when the pink slip comes, sign it. I have the pink slip already signed to me.
Just show me.
Okay? Then later on, she wanted the pink slip. I gave it to her landlord. Then she wanted to break up, whatever. We got into a fight, okay? I wanted my car back. You want to break up? Fine. I want my car back. She didn't want to give it to me. Okay? Give me the pink slip. She said, my landlord has it. Why does your landlord has my pink slip?
You just told me you gave it to our landlord.
I gave it to the landlord, but she supposed to give it to her. But she's saying she never did. And I have my witness here.
I'm not interested in your witness, Mr. Lee. The relationship didn't work out. The rent that you paid voluntarily.
Fine. I'm not asking for the rent.
Just a second. Well, just a second. But 2 seconds ago, you said to me, what are you giving me this $500 for? I paid your rent. I paid your car expenses. What is this $500 for? The rent, the car expenses? Listen, it didn't work out. How old are you?
39.
How old are you?
23.
So there's a 16-year age difference between the two of you. She's a pretty girl. You liked her. She was helpful with your child. I'm not saying that she didn't take advantage of you. Maybe she did. But if the worst she did to you was take advantage of you for a 1992 car, I suggest
Your
to you,
Honor,
Mr. Lee,
I
suggest to you, Mr. Lee, you have to get over it.
No, excuse me, Your Honor. Okay? The car is mine. I lent it to her. I have witness. Okay? I put it in her name. We got into a huge fight. I want my car back. She put a restraining order on me because...
Mr. Lee, get over it, sir. Get over it. Did you go? That's all. Case dismissed. Put him outside. Listen to me. Your countersuit's dismissed. I suggest you get security out there for them.
I wasn't surprised what happened in there. I kind of knew he would have done something to upset her. It was out of despite of the restraining order. Because, you know, like, I had this on him, so he just wanted to, because I wouldn't get back with him.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter, Davison versus Scott. Step forward, please.
24-year-old waiter Ian Davison is suing his former roommate, 21-year-old draftsman Elizabeth Scott, for rent, utilities, and for hitting him in the face with a broom. Elizabeth claims Ian put his hands on her first.
Mr. Davison, according to what I read in your complaint, you and Miss Scott and another person entered into a lease in an apartment. Three of you were going to share a place together. Miss Scott decided to move out a couple of months early. She had a boyfriend. They decided to rent a place together. And you believe that she owes you for the 2 months' rent.
Correct.
As well as a utility bill for those 2 months. And in addition, it is your claim that she assaulted you when she left the apartment over a dispute. Miss Scott says that she had fully intended to pay the 2 months' rent, but that you became so aggressive when she was moving out, it was unsafe for her to live there. As a matter of fact, it was you who were the aggressor on the final day of her stay in the apartment. She was, however, taken into custody initially because she hit you with a broom. Is that right?
I was never taken into custody, but...
The police were called?
Yes. I called the police.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ian Davison says his former roommate, Elizabeth Scott, owes for rent and utility bills. Ian also claims Elizabeth hit him in the face with a broom and gave him a black eye.
So what happened, Mr. Davison?
On the 8th of October, 2004, we had a meeting, roommate meeting, to discuss the finances, to figure out whether or not everything was in order. At that point in time, outside of her delinquency that month, everything was fine.
So you say she hadn't paid her rent?
Correct. We received a notice that said that she had not paid. There was $300 outstanding, being that I paid mine, Ken paid his, who was my roommate at the time. We figured it was hers. We asked her, and she said she hadn't paid, but she said she was going to, which we were completely fine with. And then I brought up the utilities. When I brought this up, she got real mad. She said that I was nickel and diming her, claiming...
Well, you're talking about the utilities that were owed up until that point, or the utilities prospectively for the 2 months that she wouldn't be living there?
A little bit of both. There was some owed, and then there was a couple of months when she wasn't going to be there that we were claiming she would have to pay. She said that she didn't think so. She
didn't want to pay for the utilities for the time that she wouldn't be enjoying the utilities, and only you two would be.
Correct. On October 9th, though, the day in question, she arrived to pick up the loose ends. Her and her boyfriend arrived. I was preparing for work, watching some football, and I calmly asked her. I asked her if she was going to pay, if she had been down to the office that day, and she said no, and if I could speak bluntly, Your Honor, she said, verbatim, none of your effing business. Some choice words were thrown back and forth. I realized that the argument wasn't going to be...
When you say some choice words were thrown back and forth, Mr. Davison, by both of you?
By both of us.
And when you say some choice words by both of you, I assume you meant that you raised your voice.
I did.
And she raised her voice.
She did.
Okay, so it got pretty heated.
It got heated.
And then what did you do, Mr. Davison?
Then I told her that I would like her to leave. She said that she wasn't going anywhere. You know, she was on the lease. Although she wasn't paying it, she claimed that she was no longer going to be paying anything. So I said...
So you told her, leave.
I asked her politely to leave.
No, you didn't ask her politely. At this point, you're not asking anybody politely, Mr. Davison. Don't, you know, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining, sir. So you told her to get out of the apartment?
Yes.
And when you told her to get out of the apartment, what did you do?
I walked into the kitchen and, you know, confronted her. I said, you need to go. This is stressing me out. I don't want to go to work. You know, all worked up.
Just a second. So what you're telling me is after you've been screaming and yelling at each other and using profanity at each other, you walked inside and said to her, listen, you really have to go because this is stressing me out. Is that what you want me to believe, Mr. Davison?
Not in those words.
Well, if I ask you to relay the conversation to me, I don't expect you to put a spin on it.
Okay.
Because otherwise then I can't believe anything that you tell me.
Okay.
Go.
I walked into the kitchen. I said, will you please go? Will you get out? And I said it angrily because I was worked up. You are correct. At this point in time, Nick was waiting. Her boyfriend was waiting with the door open. They had all their things to go. They were ready to go. She had, you know, her broom and her Swiffer. She was getting ready to go. I placed my hands on her shoulder, you know, to escort her out. At which point in time, she stepped back and she used the broom, forcefully hitting me in the eye. I have a picture of it right here.
Why did you put your hands on her, Mr. Davison?
Because I was hoping that it would, you know, help her out of... I was hoping that I would be able to escort her out of the apartment.
How tall are you?
6 feet.
6 feet. How tall are you?
5'3".
5'3". How much do you weigh?
About 185.
And what do you weigh?
125.
See how good things are if you just keep your mouth shut? Tell me what he did to you in the kitchen.
Well, I had other things besides a Swiffer and a broom in my hand. I had a bag of stuff. I was cleaning out the hall closet where I keep all my cleaning and stuff. And I had all my stuff, and he grabbed both my arms and pushed me not against the door, but towards the entry of the apartment.
From the back or from the front?
Front. And then I pushed back, and the Swiffer hit him in the face.
Stuff happens. A 6-foot-tall, 185-pound man is not supposed to put their hands in an aggressive, angry manner, which is what you were at that point. Otherwise, you would have not left the couch for football. The young men in my family, if they have to leave the couch for anything, it usually is very irritating to them. The fact that you got worse the deal, as I said, stuff happens. Now, let's get on to the 2 months' rent. Mr. Davison, you kicked her out of the apartment.
I did not kick her out, Your
Yes,
Honor.
you did. According to you, sir, you said to her, get out. And when the police arrived, they actually put her out. Right?
They did. They said she could no longer be in the apartment without a police escort.
I am ruling now, Mr. Davison, that is because you put your hands on her in an aggressive manner and told her to get out of the apartment. And if she got out of the apartment at your direction, you ain't entitled to the rent.
Down to the matter of Harbor John versus Neal. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, gentlemen. Have a seat, please.
Let me try to simplify this rather lengthy complaint that I've read. Mr. Harbajon, you are a used car salesman.
New and used.
And the defendant came onto the lot. You were his salesman on the lot where you worked.
No.
Where did he go to?
Well, I wasn't his salesman at first. I was coming from lunch, and my witness, this was a salesman.
You ultimately sold him a car. Unfortunately, it wasn't a car that was through your business. It was your own personal car that you had on the lot.
Right.
Not very good business. You sold him that car for $5,500. So far correct?
Yes.
And when you came onto the lot, you told either one of these two salesmen, that you were prepared to spend $5,000.
Yes.
But you couldn't find a car on the lot that you liked for $5,000. But did you see a sign in his car?
No, ma'am.
He just told you he had a car.
Yes, ma'am.
So he said, well, if you don't find a car, I'm speaking. If you don't find anything you like here, I have a car for sale. You want to look at it. Is that pretty much what he said?
Yes, ma'am.
In some more substance.
Yes, ma'am.
So you went and you took a test drive in that car?
Yes, ma'am.
That same day?
Yes, ma'am.
What day was that?
I'm not sure the day in question, Your Honor.
What day was that, sir?
February 27th.
And you agreed to buy his car for $5,500?
Yes, ma'am.
And how much money did you give him on February 27th?
$5,000.
In cash?
In cash.
But Mr. Harbajon at that time did not have the title to the car.
That's correct.
Why is that, Mr. Harbajon? Why didn't you have the title to the car, sir?
I had moved to a different location where I lived, and I later found out they had sent it to the old address, and it never came to my new address.
What month and year did you purchase the car?
This was in December.
So 2 months before you sold it to him, you purchased it yourself. Is that what you're telling me?
It was around three months around there, because it was the beginning of December.
Why were you selling it, Mr. Harbajon?
Well, we had 3 cars, and I thought we were going to keep this car for a while, but then my wife advised me it's best that we go ahead and sell this car.
Who did you buy the car from?
The dealership that I worked at.
How much did you pay for it?
It was just over $3,000 with everything involved.
So you were almost doubling your money in 3 months. Is that right?
What I was looking at...
Just listen to me carefully, sir. You were almost doubling your money in 3 months. If you bought it for $3,000 with everything in, and you were selling it to him for $5,500, that's a pretty good business deal for you, right? What word didn't you understand, Mr. Harbajon?
I was looking at the Blue Book value of the car.
Did you understand what I just said to you?
Well, yes. Yes.
So the answer is you were making a pretty decent profit. If you could double your money in 3 months,
yes,
I would take that any day.
Okay.
Why is it that the place you worked for, Mr. Harbajon, was willing to give you such a great deal on this car? If the Blue Book value that you sold him the car for was $5,500, how come they sold it to you for under $3,000?
Because I worked there. And
because you're a trusted employee.
After I worked for...
I'm speaking.
Sorry.
Because you're a trusted employee, right?
Right.
So you repaid their kindness by a couple of months later, instead of selling this gentleman a car off the lot where you worked, you sold him your own private car. And you didn't have the title to the car. So you told Mr. Neal that you would get him the title when, Mr. Neal?
In the next few business working days, and he said that he would sign it over to me when I gave him the remaining $500.
And you accepted that?
Yes.
And you took the car?
Yes.
When did you get the title?
It was about 2 weeks later, it seemed like. And we met at the DMV. He kept asking me, well, do you have the 500? Do you have the 500? And I said, I don't have the 500.
You mean before you got the title?
Yes. So I told him, I said, well, since I don't have the 500, and you keep calling me, hassling me about the money, go ahead and give me my $5,000 back. Since you haven't signed the title over, you can have your car back. And he said, no, I don't have the $5,000.
What'd you do with the $5,000?
I had bills at home that I needed to take care of.
So you spent his $5,000 without giving him, at that time, the title to the car?
Yeah. Can I present this?
No. I want you to answer my questions.
Yeah. Sure.
So when he said to you, listen, I don't have the $500 now, and I don't have the title, why don't I just give you the car back and give me my $5,000 back? You couldn't do that because you had used the $5,000 to pay bills. Is that right? Is that what you're telling me?
That's part of it.
That's all the part of it that I'm interested in. So, in effect, you said to him, I don't have the money to give it back, so then what happened, Mr. Neal?
He then went ahead and signed the title over to me, and then we agreed that when I got the money, I would still pay him the remaining $500.
And then what happened, sir?
I received a phone call from him 2 or 3 days later, and he told me that, you know, he had lost his job because I had went to his job and I caused him to lose his job.
Tell me about when you went to his job. You went to his job before you got the title?
Yes. The reason I went to the job before I got the title was because everyone was telling me that, you know, you shouldn't buy a car without a title or something if you put that much down on it. You should at least...
Did you get a bill of sale from him?
No, ma'am. He didn't have one. He had a piece of paper.
Can I see what he gave you when you bought the car?
I don't have it with me, Your Honor.
Well, what did it say, sir?
He just wrote a handwritten copy, and then he put my ID on it. On my copy, he just had my picture of my ID.
We both signed that.
Just a second.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this says that you paid him $5,000 for this Lexus ES 300, balance of $500 paid when the title is given to the seller. That's you. And then it has the tag number, blank, so that's not filled in, and you signed it and he signed it. Now, you're a car salesman?
Yes, ma'am.
Up here. Your name?
Jeremy Collins.
How long have you been a car salesman, Mr. Collins?
About 4 years.
When you sell a car, is one of the things that you identify the car with the year the car was made?
Correct.
And the model number?
Correct.
And the make of the car?
That's correct.
And the VIN number of the car?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you ever sell a car to anyone and accept their money without giving them those identifying features of the car?
No, ma'am.
No. Make, model, year, VIN number. That identifies the car that you purchased.
Correct.
You wouldn't accept this, would you?
No, ma'am.
Your boss wouldn't accept that. Would your boss?
No, ma'am.
If you ever sold a car with this kind of information, you think you'd lose your job?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Now you can sit down, Mr. Collins. You got me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
Where'd you get the money from?
Financial aid or something.
So you took your college money and bought presents for your boyfriend, who was a drug abuser and a thief. So is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Car salesman Vishnu Harbhajan claims Kip Neal owes for the unpaid balance on a Lexus and for getting him fired.
This is what we know about you, Mr. Harbhajan, because what you're suing him for is the $500 that you believe is still owed for the car, and $4,500 because you say he caused you to lose your job. You deserve to lose your job. Yeah, you do. You deserve to lose your job because you sold your own car on your boss's lot. You gave him a bogus bill of sale that didn't have proper identifying materials on it so that he could come back and pursue any rights that he had. And he went to complain about that, which was his absolute right. And if your boss fired you because you sold the car off the lot that was your car, well, that's your problem. Shouldn't have done it. Now I'll hear you.
I never knew this gentleman until that day when I was coming from lunch, and I was pulling to park in the parking lot when the salesman here, he stopped me and he said, this gentleman is looking for a car. And he had spent a lot of time on the lot, and he couldn't find one. Mr. Jeremy here had already shown him another...
Listen to me.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Okay.
Don't tell me the whole story. I gave you the germane parts of this story, Mr. Harbhajan. You sold him your personal car. You gave him a ridiculous document here, which is the only document that you have. Is that right?
No.
Show me the bill of sale that you say you gave him.
I just want to correct a lie that was said here. I never told him the amount of days. I said as soon as I get the title, I would give you a call.
Mr. Harbhajan, if I go in to buy a car, I expect to get something that indicates to me that this car is mine. He gave you $5,000, almost twice as much as you paid for the car, and he got a car that you could come and take back from him at any time. At any time. Because this doesn't even identify the car that you gave him. Now, he owes you, Mr. Harbhajan, nothing. Nothing. You made $2,000 in 2 months on this gentleman. He overpaid for this car. You took advantage of him, and I think it's the ultimate chutzpah for you to sue him for the other $500 and for $4,500 because you did not behave as an appropriate employee. So, Mr. Harbourjohn, your case is dismissed. Goodbye. Good luck.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I went out of my way so that he could have the car.
I came with $5,000 cash.
He had at least a written statement, what we agreed on.
I just wanted the car and proof that it was mine.
And he reneged on what we agreed on.
And he told me, well, you know, I need the money real bad so I can send it back to Taliban.
Taliban?
To me, I feel like that's the reason he was trying to scam me.
Did he say Taliban?
Because he was trying to get as much money as he could possible.
What is he talking about? I'm not from there.
I feel like everybody's always trying to take advantage of the good guy.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bowie versus Wiley, step forward.
23-year-old student Lynn Bowie is suing her boyfriend's sister, 23-year-old receptionist Jennifer Wiley, for selling a guitar and a PlayStation belonging to her boyfriend.
Miss Bowie, Miss Wiley is your boyfriend's sister. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
This is the boyfriend.
Yes.
It's really interesting, Bird. I want you to try to follow this. This young man, whose name is
Frederick Wiley.
Frederick, last year had a bit of a drug problem, smoking a lot of marijuana. And in order to get the money to buy this marijuana, he used to steal from his sister. He used to go into her purse, you know, take money, take her stuff and sell it, right?
Yes.
And when she would complain that he was taking money that she needed because she's a working gal, he'd laugh at her because he's an idiot.
Not to mention he was on high on marijuana.
Well, that alone makes him an idiot. Miss Bowie used to buy him presents. PlayStations, guitars, for his birthday and for Christmas, right?
That's correct.
And Miss Wiley said to her brother, you steal again from me, I'm going to take your stuff and I'm going to sell it and I'm going to keep the money. Right?
Yes.
And he did. And she did. Right?
Yep.
Now comes the interesting part. The interesting part is Frederick over here wouldn't think of suing his sister because he knows that I would annihilate him. That he would get exactly what he deserved. So he puts up his girlfriend, Miss Bowie, who says, she can't sell that stuff. I bought that stuff for you. Got it?
Oh, I got it.
So Miss Bowie comes up with this novel lawsuit, which says, even though I bought him these things as presents for his birthday and for Christmas, I really gave it to him and it's shared property because I bought him the PlayStation so that we were going to use it together. And I bought him, what else did you sell, the PlayStation?
The guitar.
And the guitar because I used to listen to the guitar. So that too is shared property. You made two mistakes, Miss Bowie. When you give somebody a gift, there are no attachments. If you bought him a PlayStation for his birthday, you may have used it in his house. But if the two of you broke up, the PlayStation was going to stay with him, as was the guitar, because that's what happens when you give a gift. That was your first mistake. Your second mistake is taking them back. Understand? Do you work?
Yes, I do right now.
What kind of work do you do?
Retail.
Were you working when you bought him all these gifts?
No, I was not.
Where'd you get the money from?
Financial aid or something. I was working here and there.
So you took your college money and bought him presents? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
That was your third mistake. Because I want you to figure out what that means. That means that the government was giving you money to go to college, right? The people were giving you money because we were investing in your future. And you were taking that money and buying presents for your boyfriend, who was a drug abuser and a thief. Does that say you're smart? Now, understanding that you did that, and you broke up with him for a while, but then Frederick the Irresistible came back into your life. What is it that's irresistible about you, Frederick? I want you to step up here and tell me.
Nothing.
That's true. Do you work?
No.
Why are you looking up at the sky?
Because I have to think about it.
You had to think about whether or not you work?
No, I don't have to think about it, ma'am.
Do you work?
No, I do not.
How do you support yourself?
Going to school and make sure that I stay happy with myself.
Who do you live with?
My mother.
Are you the only son?
The only son, yes, I will be. Am.
What?
I am. Yes, I am.
Your mother favors you?
Say no.
Does his mother favor you?
Yes, very much so.
Do you go to school 8 hours a day?
12 units. I don't know about
12 units?
Yeah.
I could do 12 units standing on one hand.
Wow.
And so could you. Because I'm sure your mother wouldn't call you the favorite unless you were a real smart guy. So what do you do with the rest of your time, Frederick?
Stay at home, listen to music.
Play the guitar?
Play the guitar.
You used to when you had a guitar.
Yes.
Miss Bowie used her student aid to buy these things for you.
Yes, she did.
Well, why don't you get a job and pay her back?
I'm currently right now looking for a job, so.
Where are you looking?
All over Orange County.
How are you looking for a job, Frederick?
I wake up at 9:30, get dressed by 10, 11, I catch the bus and go at least 5 miles on each bus that I can go.
Yeah, please.
Let me help.
Go ahead.
Let me help with this.
Go ahead, he has a question.
Orange County?
Orange County.
What does everybody in Orange County have?
A car and a job.
A car, right?
Yes.
How do they clean that car? Most of them.
Taking it to the dollar wash and washing it.
What would happen if you washed it?
They'll laugh at me.
Oh.
No, I don't know. Probably give me $5 for it.
At least $5?
Yes.
If you multiplied that by 20 people's cars, how much would that be? More than you make now.
Yes, it would be.
You see where he's going? Do you understand why we've been this couple for a very long time?
Can I add something?
What?
He just currently got fired. He was working with his other sister's boyfriend, and he fired her. He fired him because
he was lazy
no.
and couldn't wake up.
Oh, that I believe. I don't want to get involved with this anymore. Listen, right now he's his mother's mistake. If you choose to make him your mistake, that's your problem. She didn't know you a penny. Nothing. You made him a present. You made him a gift of these items. She sold them because that's exactly what she said she was going to do if he stole from her again.
Actually,
he doesn't deny that he stole from her, right?
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Good. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was trying.
69 on the calendar in the matter of Bledsoe versus Ha. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Mr. Bledsoe, you and the defendant were involved in a relationship, according to what I read in your complaint. There came a time when you needed a cell phone.
Correct.
You didn't have sufficient credit to get one yourself. And Ms. Ha said that she would get one for you, as long as you agreed to pay the bills.
Mm-hmm.
She got a second phone on her account, or was this an account that you had solely for him?
No, it was already, and he took it over.
It was already in existence.
Mm-hmm.
And then you started a business.
Correct.
And you didn't have an office, per se, so that your cell phone was your office.
Correct. We're a mobile service.
So that you had business cards and stationery printed up, all with the cell phone number on it.
Yes.
What kind of business is this, Mr. Bledsoe?
We manufacture and install a paint protection film for cars. It's otherwise known as a clear broad. It's on the front of the cars to protect them from getting rock chips.
From getting what?
From getting rock chips and damage on the front of the car.
This is a lucrative business?
Yes.
And then the two of you broke up.
Correct.
This is what your lawsuit is about. You say that because Ms. Ha refused to let you keep the number, to keep the account going, and you lost the number, not only did you lose a lot of business, but all of the cards that you had printed up and the stationery that you had printed up are no good anymore because you had to get a different phone.
Right.
Explain to me, sir, how this is a lawsuit.
All right. We had broken up in March of 2004, and until December of this past year, I was still paying the cell phone bill, still using the phone. She had contacted me and said that she wanted to get the cell phone out of her name, and I said, that's fine. And the following day, we were going to meet down at the Singular store because I needed her to go in and say it was okay for me to have that phone number. And so she agreed to go down there. She didn't show up that day. Then after we tried to meet and she wouldn't come, and eventually she said, I'm not going to give you the number. My brother, who's also a partner in business, also spoke with her on the phone for about 45 minutes one day trying to see what we could do to maintain this number, and she just refused to do it. We ended up that month of February going 33 days without any business due to not having anybody being able to contact us through the new number.
Mr. Bledsoe, let's say I believe everything that you said to me. What you're complaining about is that she wasn't being a nice person, right?
Correct. Correct. She knew without a doubt that without giving me that number, she knew she would hurt business.
Where is her legal obligation to give you that number?
I guess there's no legal obligation that she had to give me that number.
That's true. But Ms. Ha has a counterclaim. She says you weren't paying the bill.
The very last bill, I did not pay the very last bill.
And what month was the very last bill, Mr. Bledsoe?
The cell phone was turned off in the middle of January, so it would have been the December to January.
When did you get that bill, Ms. Ha?
Well, I received several bills, and I actually agreed to let him keep the phone as long as he paid for the bill. His brother first told me beg, and I said, nope, I'm not going to give him the phone. And I totally refused, and then finally, I said, you know what, you can keep the phone, just pay for the bill. I texted him, I said, you can keep the phone. He even texted me back and said, I appreciate that you're going to let me keep the phone. I thought everything was going to be squared away, he was going to go pay for it. He still didn't pay for it. So
well, let me see the bill.
This is
just the one. Are they all outstanding bills?
No, I'm sorry.
Well, then just give me one thing. I'm getting older by the minute. You owed her $497.57.
Originally, she had said that her mother was going to use that phone. Therefore, when I switched the numbers over, there wasn't going to be any cancellation fee or anything like that. Because she drew it out over a 3-week period of time, not deciding whether she wanted to give me a number or not, then they canceled the phone and they added on a $200 cancellation.
They canceled the phone after 3 months, not 3 weeks.
Had he been paying the bill regularly?
Yes, well, it was never on time, but he was until the last.
Well, why do you think, Mr. Bledsoe, that after she said she would let you keep the phone, she decided against it?
If you like, if I could bring my brother up, because he spoke with her directly about that question.
Your name?
My name's Craig Bledsoe. I spoke to Michelle. You know, she agreed to give the number, and I don't know what her problem was, but all of a sudden she wouldn't do it. And then she would, and then she wouldn't.
Just a second.
Yes.
That's a lie.
Mr. Bledsoe.
Yes.
Try looking at me.
Okay.
This is not an audition for an acting class, sir.
Okay.
Did she ever say to you, you owe a bill?
No.
Is not an answer.
Oh,
did she ever say to you, you owe a bill?
She never said to me that I owe a bill. Yes, he owes a bill.
Okay.
Correct.
Now, come back to you. Did you ever have a discussion about paying the bill?
Yes.
Well, that's the problem, sir. There was some misunderstanding and miscommunication about paying the last bill.
I had no problem paying the bill, and in fact offered her money so that we could have that phone, because that phone number is so crucial to our business.
Mr. Bledsoe, how many months after you broke up, or she broke up with you, who broke up with who?
It was mutual.
Mutual. How much after the breakup did this incident occur in December? When did you break up?
In March.
So for a long time, you had the phone.
That's correct.
And for a long time, there was no problem.
Correct. The problem arose when Michelle and I were dating. We had had 2 cars repossessed. I felt responsible for it. Therefore, I had told her that I would give her $250 a month towards her car payment as long as I could afford it. Therefore...
What do you mean you felt responsible? Why did you feel responsible?
Because we were living together and I was using the car.
Both cars.
And so therefore...
Go ahead. He was using...
I got him 2 cars, and he got them both repossessed. And countless of that, like credit cards he used to take to strip clubs, everything. And I saw a statement... Yeah.
Not sure.
Just to sit down. Now I don't need you anymore.
Fair enough, but I got a lot to say about her side of the story.
I mean, I would see things on my statements.
So that things started to get nasty before.
Things have been nasty
Is that right? Before. In any event, Mr. Bledsoe, Ms. Ha has no legal obligation to permit you to keep a cell phone in her name and allow you to keep the number. There is no legal obligation. Being a nice person, she could have done it. She chose not to, even if there wasn't an issue with regard to the final cell phone bill. So you don't have a legal case against her. Moral, maybe, but this is not moral court. It's a legal court. Understood?
Yes.
Very good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
That's your printer?
No, that's not my printer.
Do me a favor, Bird. Take a look at the receipt and see if it's the same make and model. Oh, I can't believe I went to law school for this.
And later today...
I felt sorry for her that she was with him.
You know who the only person I feel sorry for right now?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jared Bledsoe says ex-girlfriend Michelle Ha owes for maliciously cutting off his cell phone. Michelle says Jared tried to skip out on the bill.
Now, let's get to your counterclaim. As I said, I'm not deciding whether or not you were nice, you were not nice. All I want to know is how much he owes on the past due phone bill.
$497.
No, that's with the cancellation fee. I want it without the cancellation fee.
$342.48.
Good. $342.48. That's what you owe, sir.
We had had a dispute about printer and a computer, so we had brought that to give to her.
Officer Bird will take care of that. That's your printer?
Can you turn it around, please? No, that's not my printer.
Oh, gosh.
See, I have a printer. It's a gray and black one, and when I got a computer, it came with it. And then when he gave me back my computer, he never gave me back my printer. And I have the receipt right here.
Do me a favor, Bird. Take a look at the receipt that she has and see if it's the same make and model. Oh, I can't believe I went to law school for this.
That was a Lexmark?
Yeah.
Mr. Bledsoe, does this one work or not work?
It works.
Good. Give it to her. Perfect. He owes you $342.48 for his phone bill. There's your printer. Goodbye. Good luck. Are you back in business?
Yes, we are.
Good. Good luck to you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I wanted to do this civilly, and he wouldn't take care of it outside, so he likes attention, so I gave it to him.
As moral as she tries to act and she is, what would the moral thing have been to do in that situation?
I just want all ties cut with him.
I just think it's sad that this world's full of selfish people that are ignorant about the things that they do in their life.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Austin versus Atwater Mayfield. Step forward, please.
26-year-old retail salesperson Courtney Austin is suing her former friend, maintenance technician Fred Atwater, and his fiancée, 23-year-old restaurant manager Sylvia Mayfield, for collect calls from jail, gas money, and lost wages. Fred and Sylvia are countersuing for harassment.
Miss Austin.
Yes.
According to your complaint, you and Mr. Atwater dated for a little while. Then he went to jail.
Yes.
Why is that funny?
Because we never dated, Your Honor. It was just only...
I said to her, according to her complaint,
Okay.
the two of you dated for a while and then you went to jail. I didn't think the going to jail part was funny. And while he was in jail, he made a series of collect calls to you.
Correct.
And it went something like this. He would call you and ask you to connect him on a three-way call
Correct.
to this lady here.
Initially, it was his sister.
Well, that's what he told you.
That's what he told me.
But I said, to
Yes.
this lady here.
Yes.
Who happens to be his fiancée or girlfriend.
Yes.
Shh. Now, every time he called you collect, it cost you $2.70.
Correct.
So you want him to pay for that.
Correct.
And then after you found out that he had this girlfriend, somehow you became friendly enough with her so that she asked you to drive her up to jail to pay his bail.
Correct.
And not only did you do that once, you did it twice.
Correct.
And now, Miss Austin, you're bothering me because you want the money back for the collect calls that you accepted and your gas and time when you took her to jail.
That he said he was going to pay for.
Let's go back. You met him when?
He introduced himself by leaving this note on my car.
Okay. Where did he see you?
He works in my complex.
Okay. So it worked. I didn't have to see that. He left a note on your car.
Yes.
You got to know him. According to him, you were friends. According to you, you dated for a little while. What I want to get to is, because I have other things to do today, and this isn't particularly fascinating to me. When women do stupid things, I get frustrated. At first, he told you, when he went to jail, by the way, what did you go to jail for?
Child support order.
Drug abuse and hitting her.
Was it a civil commitment or a criminal commitment?
It was civil.
Civil.
You hit her, and that's how you
Shut
got
up, shut up! He told you when he called you from jail that the person he wanted you to connect him to was his sister. How many such phone calls did you accept under the assumption that you were connecting him to his sister?
One.
And after that, you heard that it was his girlfriend.
No, I didn't know it was his girlfriend until she called me back trying to figure out who was three-waying the calls for him.
And how many calls had you accepted up until that time?
2 or 3.
And how many did you accept after you knew that she was the girlfriend?
It says here 35.
So, now we know that he's lied to you.
Yes.
And he's in jail.
Yes.
Why would you believe that he's going to pay you for these calls when he's lied to you about who the person is?
He's not from that area. Me just moving from Los Angeles to Georgia, I was trying to put myself in his position, needing a friend. So I was trying to look out for him. It wasn't like I was trying to make him my husband, my man, or anything like that. We were friends. And in that, he told me that he had after I found out he had a girlfriend, and I took her, I felt sorry for her that she was with him.
You know who the only person I feel sorry for right now? Miss Austin, how much did it cost you, all this stupidity of yours? How much in phone calls?
Between 150 and 175.
No, between 150 and 175 is not an answer when you're in court.
150. $150.
Now, Mr. Atwater,
Yes, ma'am.
who's supposed to pay that $150?
Well, since we were friends, I appreciate the call she did herself for me, but
Why didn't she collect the call?
They ain't have a phone at the house.
Quiet.
for one thing, Your Honor, we had a cell phone. We didn't have a household phone then at the time, and we couldn't make collect calls to her, so I thought I would call her. And she was notified before she accepted the call, $270 per call. She had an option to hang
It
up
does
or
not
accept
say that.
If you say one more word, I'm just going to throw you out. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good.
She was opted to either accept the call or not to.
Did you tell her that you would pay her back for these
I never
calls?
told Courtney I would pay her. She told me every time I would call her and she do the three-way, she'll tell me to hang up and call right back.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, like you get 15 minutes for $2.70. So after the phone call, the 15 minutes is up, she would tell me to hang up and call right back.
And you would do that?
Yes.
And
She accept the call every time.
I didn't. Sorry. Am I looking in your direction? No. Mr. Atwater?
Yes.
Is it your statement to me that you never said to Miss Austin, please do this collect calls because we have no phone in our house, so if you do this for me, I'll pay you back when I get out?
I never told her I was going to pay her.
I don't believe that. See, that I don't believe. That I don't believe. I believe you told her you'd pay her back for the phone calls. That's
Your
one
Honor.
bit of stupidity. You may not have meant it, Mr. Atwater.
Your Honor,
I'm speaking. What did you ever do for her?
I never did anything for her.
That's what I mean. Why in the world?
Because we were friends, Your
I'm
Honor. That's all
speaking.
we were,
I'm
friends.
speaking. Did Miss Mayfield know that she was your friend?
Not at the time. She was in Miami at the time.
Exactly.
And I did.
Quiet! Just to answer my question. I said, did Miss Mayfield know that Miss Austin was your fiancée? And you said no. That's the only information that I need. Now, as far as taking her to and from the jail, tell me how that came about. Fast!
Basically, he told me that he was going to pay me the money when he got out. She needed to go pay his bail money. She had $500. His employer put up the other $500. I took her to go get the money from the employer. We went. We didn't make it that day. I had to take her back the next day to go pay his bail. They wouldn't release him because he had a drug charge and he had hit her, which is originally why he went into jail. Then we had to go the next day, something about getting his clothes because the county would put him in jail.
You didn't have to do anything.
No, I didn't. I did it out of goodness of my heart.
That's right. So then don't bother me about it if you did it
No,
out of the
he
goodness
told
of
me
your
he was
heart.
going to pay me for it. It wasn't like he said he was going to pay
Miss
me for my
Austin?
trouble.
Miss Austin, you did not have a contract with Mr. Atwater, and you certainly
I
didn't
do
have a
have one
contract
right
with
here.
Mayfield.
Yes, I do.
Good, then let me see it. Exactly what I said, Miss Austin. It says you can threaten us all you want. We'll pay for your phone bill. Nowhere does it say that they're going to pay for you taking her to and from jail. I believe that he said to you, if you accept these collect calls, I'll
Your Honor, may I speak?
put your hand down. That he agreed to pay for the phone bill, but for nothing else. So that's your claim, $150. Now you have a counterclaim for harassment.
Yes.
Get to it fast.
Okay, and that statement right there, what she has on the second page, that was after she brought the cops to our house. So we put it.
Speak.
We put it in writing. The cop told her to go ahead and take it to the courtroom and file the claim,
Put
and
your
she
hand down.
did that.
Just a second.
And she did
You
that.
said here, I'm going to pay you the money for the phone bill. Stop bothering me.
Exactly.
Right.
But she never stopped.
Let's get to your counterclaim. You've got a counterclaim for harassment for $500. I'm going to hear you. 10 seconds or less.
The harassing emails, taping notes to our door, bringing the cops to our apartment complex where that is not tolerated. We cannot have no kind of commotion going on.
Why didn't you pay her phone bill?
Because I never did tell her that, Your Honor.
I
never
don't
did
believe
tell
that.
her.
And she was trying to collect a debt. You're not supposed to take advantage of people, Mr. Atwater.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to take advantage of people's feelings and emotions. One girlfriend is in Florida, one friend is here. Friendships usually work both ways. She does a favor for you, you do a favor for her. You did no favors for her. You were a taker. You have to pay her back for the phone. Put your hand down. Are you still bothering them?
No.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $150.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Gonzalez, it is your claim that Mr. Stoddard vandalized your car and threw a bottle at it, and you want him to pay some $4,000 in damage. And I gather from reading all of these papers that there was an incident involving a girlfriend of yours. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is this the girlfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to start with her. Step up, please. Tell me your name.
Amanda. Amanda.
All right. Amanda, you have a last name.
Payne, P.
On what night did you allegedly have trouble with Mr. Gonzalez and his friends?
The night of the incident.
Well, what date was that?
I'm not sure.
What date was that?
August 26, 2004.
All right, now I want you to tell me your version of what happened that night.
I was outside talking to Sam over here, and I was going to go back into the apartment, and him and his friend stopped me, and they took me over to the
Okay, he and his friend. Did you know them before that evening?
I had met them, yes.
So you were acquaintances?
Right.
And you say he and his friend stopped you. How did they stop you?
They took me by my arms. They grabbed me by my arms just like that.
Yes.
And they took me over by the pool area, and they were touching me and feeling me.
Tell me what they said to you when they grabbed you by the arm. Tell me what...
They had been drinking, so they were just slurring and just making rude comments to me, saying, you're going to come over here and, you know, we're going to do this and that. And I had hollered for Sam. And
okay, so they grabbed you and pulled you over to the pool area?
Yeah, we were walking over by there.
Well, as you were walking over to the pool area, were you calling for help?
Yes, I called for Sam, and they...
As you were walking over to the pool area?
Yes.
Before anything happened to you, were you calling for anybody?
No, because they had just took me by my arms, and they were just walking me over there fast.
Well, did you say I don't want to go with you? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I did.
Amanda. Okay, let's keep going. So they walked you over to the pool area. Go ahead.
They had me picked up, and they were smacking my butt and just touching me, like I said.
And you were calling for Sam?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And they had told me to shut up, and they called me a B word.
Go ahead.
And then that's when Obed came over.
That's this person over here, yeah?
Yes, and he had came over, and he'd been drinking, and I said, Obed, do something. And he said, what? Like nothing was going on.
Yeah.
And then he left. And then I managed to get myself away from them, and I ran back over to Sam and told Sam about it.
To Sam. Up. Sam, you have a last name.
Dyer.
What did Amanda tell you, Mr. Dyer, when she came over to you?
Well,
I want you to think very carefully of the exact words she used.
she was crying, and at first I couldn't get her to tell me. It was hard to find out what was going on. She started to tell me that these men had tried to grab her, touch her, and she used the word rape. At the same time that she had told me that, I saw the two walk past me to the car, get in the car.
And this gentleman was one of them?
Yes.
Okay, so they walked past you and they got into the car.
And then I went to the car to ask them if they were leaving. And they said, yes, but we'll be right back. We're going to the store. I went in to get my buddy, Heath, right here, to tell him what had happened. And I was angry. I can say that for myself. I was angry. I don't like to see... She was hysterical, very upset. And I told him what was going on.
You told Heath?
Heath. He was getting ready for work at the time. You know, I was excited. I was like, you know, I was kind of jazzed now, and I'm telling him, these guys are coming right back. This is what happened.
Okay, so they left. They did leave.
They had left, and they returned.
Do they live there in this apartment complex?
Obed.
He does?
Does live there, yes.
He does. So that they came back because they said they were going to?
Yes.
Okay. Strange behavior for people who were trying to rape somebody, to leave and come back. But go ahead.
Okay. I didn't actually see this, but I heard a glass shatter. That's when he later had told me that was a beer bottle that hit the window.
That he threw at the window?
Yes.
Go ahead.
The passenger then, he's not here right now, but the passenger jumped out, throwing his hands up, ready to fight.
Because somebody had thrown a bottle.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
There were three of them, one of Heath. Heath was approaching the car. As he was approaching the car, I went around the passenger side and engaged in a scuffle with the guy who had jumped out. I was ready, telling him to take a swing, which he did try to take a swing. I ended up taking him to the ground. He started to pull away from me. Heath was right there. They started fighting. I started to separate the two, the guy that is not here, Heath, and that other guy. And that's really all that I saw.
You've been most helpful.
Thank you.
Don't sit down.
Okay.
Mr. Gonzalez, had you been drinking that night?
We had been drinking. We weren't drunk.
Had you been drinking that night?
No.
Had you been?
Yes.
What had you been drinking?
Beer.
And you?
No, ma'am.
Fine. So you were drinking.
Yes, ma'am.
Who was driving?
I was driving. I only had one beer. I wasn't drunk at all.
Who else were you with?
I was with my other friend and my cousin Obed.
Do you know Amanda Payne?
I do. I met her.
You want to tell me what happened that night?
Yes, ma'am, I do. That night, my cousin Obed had called me, and he said, hey, Miss Payne wanted to see me that night. I went over there with intentions of only seeing her. And
is that right, Obed?
Yes, ma'am.
Step up.
And shh. Oh, sorry.
Obed, when did Miss Payne tell you that she wanted to see your cousin?
We were outside talking, and I told her that David was in town, and she told me to call him up, so I called him up.
Is that right?
No. I never wanted to see him.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Oh, yeah, you are. You are. I could tell that your whole story was a little bit smelly. But about this, I know for sure you're lying, because he's telling me the truth. You caused a whole lot of trouble that night.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
According to you, Amanda, this was a terrible experience. Is that right?
Yes.
Was she crying?
No, ma'am.
Was she screaming?
No, ma'am.
You know that I don't believe you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. David Gonzalez says he was assaulted and his car was vandalized by Heath Stoddard. Heath claims David sexually assaulted his friend.
Go ahead.
After that, what had happened was when I came outside, they were sitting over, my cousin and my friend were sitting over there with her talking, and she
Where?
called my name near the pool area.
Go ahead.
She called my name to tell, she said, Obed, do something, and I said, guys, leave her alone.
What were they doing?
She was sitting on his lap while my friend was standing up talking to her.
Well, what did it appear as if they were doing?
Sitting and talking, that's what I thought they were doing.
Okay, was she crying at that point?
No, ma'am.
Was she screaming at that point?
No, ma'am.
When you came out and you said, guys, leave her alone, did she get up?
Yes, she did. She got up, and so did they, and I took them to the store to put gas in their car.
And then you came back?
Yes, ma'am, because they dropped me off. They had to go back to where they lived.
Do you know Heath?
Yes, ma'am, I do. He lives right across the breezeway from me.
You think Heath knew that she had said, why don't you call David and have him come over?
No, ma'am, because he came and asked me earlier on after the incident happened. He asked me some questions, and I told him she told him that she had nobody, that she was just staying with him, just to live there. She didn't say that she was dating him.
According to you, Amanda, this was a pretty terrible experience. Is that right?
Yes.
When did you contact the police, and can I see the police report?
The cops were called while the fight was occurring.
Can I see the report, please? Who called the police?
I'm not sure.
There was a lady that lived upstairs, and she called the cops.
Is that the only police report you had? This has nothing to do with the assault.
That is the assault.
No, this is what you allege happened to you. What happened to the assault on these guys?
I couldn't get access to it. I tried.
Did you file one?
Yes, I did.
When?
On that night as well, August 26th.
Now, what happened with these allegations, Miss Payne?
We went to court several times in Bethany, and at every hearing that we had, it got continued, and then finally they dismissed it and told me to go file in Oklahoma County because they didn't want to deal with it anymore. They thought it was a more serious matter.
Were you ever arrested?
No, ma'am, I was not.
There was never an arrest with regard to your allegations
Right,
of sex abuse, madam.
I never went back and filed.
Why?
Because they had made a police report on Heath, and I didn't want them to go forward with pursuing Heath because I didn't think he was in the wrong, and I was tired of going through it.
When did they make the police report against Heath?
The same night.
First?
No.
You know that I don't believe you when you say that you didn't tell him to call David to come over?
You might not believe me, but I didn't.
Because you knew these two young men. There were other people around in the complex that night. If somebody grabbed you by the arm to walk you over to the pool area, all you had to do was scream and say, "Let go, help me, somebody help me," which you didn't do. Which you didn't do, because they would have heard you.
There were two guys. There were two of them.
They were not armed, madam. You knew who they were. All you had to do was scream, "Somebody help me." You didn't do that.
I hollered for Sam.
Let me see the damage to your car, please.
You want to see the estimates as well?
Yep. I'm going to get back to you in a second, Sam. Sometimes things are not as they appear. Now, you had options. Your option was, instead of going out there and starting trouble, you go into the house and you call 911 and you report an alleged attempted rape and you wait for the police, right?
Could have done that.
Is that the right thing to do?
That is the right thing to do.
Would you say that if I am correct, that Amanda over here asked Obed to call his cousin David, and she wouldn't want to say that now because things got out of hand that night, right? Right? Things got out of hand with you and with Heath that night, right? But if I am correct that she wanted David to come over just to talk, you would have been wrong to get involved with this, to confront and assault him, right?
If
the passenger in the car?
If she hadn't.
I'm saying to you, if I am correct.
If you are correct. I see what you're saying, yes.
How old are you?
30.
I'm older. What kind of work do you do?
At the time, I was a detention officer for a juvenile detention center.
And now?
Now I manage group homes for people with developmental disabilities.
Well, my job for the last 30 years or so has been to figure out who was telling the truth and who's telling a lie. That's my job.
Right.
So I have more experience than you do. So you have to rely on me when I say to you, she asked Obed to call his cousin. Now, if you knew that then, would you have confronted the passenger in the car?
Not in that case.
Right. Okay. Boy, if I were one of two guys that attempted to rape somebody, I wouldn't go put gas in my car and come back to the same place. That just doesn't sound right. Once I got in my car, I would leave and not come back. Say, boy, hope this blows over. Wouldn't you?
They may have thought nothing was going to happen.
Maybe they thought nothing was going to happen because nothing happened. That's a possibility, isn't it?
That is a possibility.
I know that Heath would like to believe everything that she says. It's not true. And what you two gentlemen should have done was to pick up the phone and call the police so that in the event that something did happen to this young lady, the police would have dealt with it. They weren't going anywhere. They had just come back. What kind of car do you have, sir?
1995 Mazda 626.
The estimate that you have probably is worth more than the car is worth. There's a lot of damage to the car. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
We were about to leave home, and then the cops come over, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, by the way, here's these papers, sexual assault and battery." I was like, "What?"
She just speculated and made her own ruling, and, you know, she didn't even ask me what happened, you know, my side or anything.
Basically, she ran the game on everybody.
They're lying. They wanted their money, and that's what they're getting.
Her story was whack. Everything she said was whack. All three of them are whack, and that's what they get.
I just feel really bad for Amanda.
It escalated to fighting and beer bottles hitting windows.
I saw red. I was ready to take someone down.
Thanks, Judge Judy. You rock.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ramos versus Kearney. Step forward, please.
19-year-old salesperson Aubrey Ramos is suing her ex-boyfriend, 25-year-old tow truck driver Tim Kearney, for a loan to pay a marijuana fine and for a cell phone.
Ms. Ramos, the defendant is your former boyfriend. You claim he owes you for some tickets that you paid off for him and a cell phone.
Yes.
And he says that he paid you for the loan for the tickets, and he doesn't owe you anything for the cell phone. Loans. Let me hear.
All right, as of 11/13 of last year, Tim asked me if I could pay a ticket that was amount of $600. It was for possession of marijuana, and I had just received a credit card at that time, so I said I would go ahead and do that. He also said he would pay me every week, $50.
And did he do that?
For about 2 weeks, he paid me, and then it was every other week, and then it was whenever he had the money.
Well, who kept a record?
I kept the record.
Let me see the record you kept.
I don't have, I mean, I calculated it on paper. I don't have any proof other than what the credit card states.
No, he said he paid you. So if he paid you and he paid you for 2 weeks and then he skipped a week and then he paid you the next week and then he paid when he could, somebody had to keep a record of when the payments were made and what there is. How do you know what the balance was? Are you guessing what the balance is?
No, I'm not guessing. I totaled it up and
Well, show me from what you totaled it up.
I just kept it on a scrap piece of paper that I do not have.
Oh, okay. What else?
Then February 21st of 2004, Tim wanted to join my phone bill, have another line on there. He said he would pay me every month that the phone bill was due, and that if we stopped dating, he would still pay the fee every month. He then decided to break up with me a month later, and he kept paying the bill for another 2 months. His girlfriend and I got in a confrontation over the phone, so I turned off his phone the next day. There's a $200 cancellation fee. He told me that he did not owe me any more money for
He
the
doesn't
phone.
owe you any money. He kept his end of the bargain.
Not at all.
Shh. Do I look like I need some help? When you lend somebody money, you keep records. Courts don't deal in guessing. Mr. Kearney says that he has, in fact, paid you back all but $50.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Now, he doesn't know that either. He's just making that up. You don't know how much he owes you because you're just making it up. Because if you had scraps of paper, then you would have brought them to court. You didn't. When you make a business, a contract arrangement with somebody, even if it's an oral contract, you keep records. Otherwise, you're asking courts to guess. Courts don't guess. Mr. Kearney says he owes you $50.
कितना दिल में हो जाए